Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover.
You just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Everlow Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlowconcrete.com.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, bye-week buddies.
Ah, man, that's what we all are. Now we're not. Now we're back to fighting.
Oh,
Whoa.
we're fighting?
Well,
We're
it's
fighting?
football season. We
Who
all
am
have to
I
be mad at
fighting
each
with?
other.
Man, my team, we're both 2-2.
Good for you and good for you, too.
Yeah, because you know what? Let me just take this time.
Oh, the Chiefs aren't dead. You're going to
Okay,
have to deal with the
so-
Chiefs.
I said the
There's
Chiefs
a
were dead.
jabroni in middays and 2 jabronis in the afternoon
Whoa.
that have been burying the Chiefs.
Oh.
I would never.
Oh, Josh, please stand up for me. I am number one respecter of the Chiefs. How often have I said this? They are the best
Okay,
at
so I'm
winning.
going to go back and reference a couple of tweets
Okay,
that you
yeah,
have because
yeah, okay.
I bookmarked them.
You go ahead. You go ahead. I didn't
No,
say
I was-
anything.
Hit us
I
with the
didn't,
quotes.
I didn't say anything about the
I
Chiefs.
was happy about our
you
win
were-
this weekend.
You were the only one in our station who picked the Chiefs.
Oh, thank
to
you.
win
no,
on 4
I was not going to
pickup.
do that. I was not going to do that.
Thank you.
Josh said in our NFL thing we do together that he doesn't think the Chiefs were going to make the playoffs, and
He has said that from the jump.
and I told him, I go, they're going to win today,
what a
and he
wild
goes,
take.
I just don't think you're looking at it from a football perspective, and I go, it's
Is that what he said?
that's what he said, and
That's
I go,
very much a football perv would do that.
and
Yeah,
I go,
exactly.
and I go, I don't have to. We've watched this Kansas City Chiefs team at home all of these years. You know that this will probably be. This is what I said. I said this probably be a game where the Ravens control it and they look really good, but then Kansas City just ends up winning it because Kansas City just ends up winning those games.
See, I didn't think I thought they'd lose, but yeah, it
Worthy
did not
being
look like
back.
that either.
It didn't look like they just
Yeah.
kicked their
Worthy
ass.
being
Yeah.
back helps their offense. They have Jacksonville on Monday night, a week from tonight.
Yeah. You're starting
they're-
to feel yourself again.
Well, they are just a game behind the Chargers.
Yeah, after
So all
that
of a sudden, after-
terrible loss.
I mean, and they are basically also 2 bad plays by Kelsey away from Mahomes going the entire month without turning the ball over.
Is
He's back.
Chris Jones being away from pregame warmups better for the team? Is
Great
that
idea.
Because he played better. He actually
Yeah.
played like Chris Jones.
Well, I mean, maybe there's a sense of urgency. Can you imagine? Like, I wish when he walked in, he would have been in full uniform, like he was changing in the back of the
I know,
van that
I
was
know.
driving him from the airport.
Like on The Hangover,
Yeah.
when they throw the clothes at him as
Yeah.
they're driving down the freeway.
I mean,
That's a
that
great
is-
idea.
That is insane to
That
think
is a good
about.
idea.
Like he landed, and less than an hour later, he was playing in an NFL game.
It's pretty cool to think about. You hear that in baseball all the time. It's like, yeah, he just got traded like an hour ago, and now he just showed up in the dugout. Put him in the game. Why not? Just playing baseball. For Chris Jones, he's been around long enough. He's just playing football.
Well, if
You know.
we're going to be honest here, he does play probably the one position where you can get away with that because, I mean, what do you just move forward, my man?
Yeah, I mean,
Just
he
keep
practiced
pushing.
all week. He knows the
I mean,
the
he's
game
also
plan.
a Hall of Famer and who's been on the team for how long has he been on the team for? 10 years?
Mm,
Been close, probably.
This is 8th year.
8. I feel like it's been longer than that. I mean, you would know more than I.
I think this is year 8. For
Chris Jones, FB ref. Let's see.
You put an FB ref?
Yeah, Chris Jones.
Wow.
This is his 10th NFL season. All with the Kansas City Chiefs.
the Bears
You
have a
to
bye
deal
week.
with the Chiefs.
Bears have a bye week. Then they play, hopefully, a Jaden Daniels-less Washington Commanders team.
Is that a primetime game?
Yeah, Monday night.
Mm.
And then
Look
they,
at that.
yeah.
Oh, they're hoping
yeah.
to. How many times are they going to replay that Hail Mary?
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah.
Or no, Tyquan
No,
Stevenson.
Tyquan Thornton's
Tyreek
my wide-
Stevenson.
Tyquan
Tyquan
Thornton's
Thornton's
my wide receiver.
your number one
Who the
receiver.
Patriots
and,
dropped.
and Matt Rule's former wide receiver as
That's
well.
right.
Former
That's
Baylor guy.
true. But
Not
let's-
number one
it was-
anymore, by the
right,
way.
first off-
Worthy's back. He's better.
It was Noah Brown who caught the ball for Washington.
Yeah, but the one guy was celebrating at the Tyreek Stevenson.
Tyreek Stevenson might be a Pro Bowler this year.
I don't care. He did the biggest mistake
Cost
of
you
all
a game
time.
last year.
Yeah.
He cost us
coulda
our
kept-
season.
Could have kept
Yeah.
Eberflus.
If we win that game, we're 4-1, and we're like, oh my god, we got momentum heading into Arizona. We play the Cardinals. James Conner's out. Who's Trey Benson? Never even heard of him.
Hmm.
And then winning that, then you play the Patriots the week after winning against the Commanders and the Cardinals. You win that game. Then you're 7-1.
So you're feeling pretty good about your guys.
But then Tyreek Stevenson ended up doing what he did, and it cost them the
Oh,
entirety of the year.
You're replaying. Those.
Judging
Yeah.
by both of your timelines, you guys were staying up last night. Do you feel like it was a waste of your time to watch the
not at
Packers?
all.
No,
Cowboys?
no, I very much
We had
enjoyed
no
the
winner.
game.
We had no winner.
Yeah, I know.
There
but-
always should be a winner.
yeah, sometimes that happens at the end. What's Matt showing me?
Did
right
you like
now?
my tweet?
I didn't see your tweet. What
This is me jumping. This is how high I got in the air when the Bears blocked the field goal.
Why are you?
Yeah, what was the vertical?
I had a
there?
lot of questions. Go ahead.
Why are you recording yourself?
I wasn't. That was my roommate took a picture of me when that happened.
Okay.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not one of those like TikTokers where
It
I'm
seemed like it.
no, not at all. He was recording me watching the final field goal, hoping that the Bears would lose the game.
Way to jump. Nice jump.
Now, if they would have lost, what would you have done?
What do you want from me? You want
Nothing.
a cookie?
Yeah, I do. It'd be great. I'm kind of hungry.
I don't have any of those. I heard
No.
it was National Something Day today.
Coffee.
though.
Coffee. Yeah.
But it's also going to be 89 degrees in Omaha. They're going to give me no coffee.
You're a coffee
brand.
guy.
yeah, if
Frank.
it could cool down in this town, that'd be great.
No. This is great. We don't need no. Hey, if we're going to go to fall, let's have fall. We don't need false fall. Just boom.
We already had that.
Here,
It's going to be 92. Happer and I are going to be sweating in the TV booth at Burke on Friday night.
love that. Tell them to put me in the Hall of Fame. Call them cowards, or it won't work. Gary, you live in sweltering heat all day, every day.
Yes,
How do you do it?
I just got used to it.
Okay. I haven't had an air conditioner for 3 weeks, and I have to go another week.
What?
and-
It's still not done yet?
They don't have the part.
It doesn't matter. Tell them to fix it.
What kind of air
Get-
conditioner do you have?
Great question. It's one that's about 5 years old, maybe even newer than that, and they don't have the part.
Josh, you're getting screwed.
I think I am
Yeah,
too.
I think you
You
are.
ever get your ice machine fixed?
No,
Oh,
Oh
No,
my
I-
God, what happened?
I don't want to talk about it. It's a rough subject.
you got to go out and rebuy.
Wait, they're not gonna.
I'm
gonna
wait.
help you?
I'm just no. They're not going to help me.
So is your part for your air conditioning, is it back ordered or?
I don't know. It sure seems like it's on a shipping container somewhere.
You need a whole new. You need a whole new. I don't know what the part is.
It's a blower.
They don't have any blowers. Isn't that what an air conditioner does? Blow.
Are you using
Don't
one
they
of
have
our-
a warehouse full of
Yeah.
crap?
There's
I'd say they should
Wouldn't
have
one of
offered,
those pieces of crap?
They should have
be a
offered you by
blower?
now to get a new.
They should have offered putting me up in a hotel.
They should have done that.
Price I'm paying them to install this blower in a week or two.
Dang, Josh. Yeah,
Are
you
they?
gotta-
I hope they're not one of our regular partners here at NRG
I don't
because we have
think
a lot
so.
of really
They
good.
Just
heat.
say no. Just say
No.
no.
Okay.
Just say
the veteran Connor Happer keeping the green flowing in the 16-20 the zone.
They would never.
no. Black
I
Cat.
feel bad.
Was there a guarantee on the
so
box?
do you have fans? Do you have ceiling fans?
I have every imaginable fan running
Okay.
in my house.
Dude,
It's
this is
80
bad.
degrees in my house and has been for a week.
Josh is getting. Now
I'm
I know why
triggered.
Josh is so triggered all
Thank
the
you.
time nowadays.
Why is the slightest thing setting Josh off?
That's why.
Ooh,
It's
that's a
because of
segment.
heat.
That's a segment.
Mhm.
Talking about
Mhm.
blowers, I mean, OPPD is sucking the life out of me with these having to pay an electrical bill for the
Oh.
first time in my
Oh
life.
my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
Matt.
I mean,
Jeez.
it's just a lot,
Matt,
man.
okay, here's things you got to get used to.
Yeah.
Spending money,
I know I'm having a tough time doing that.
not having holidays off.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, and a variety of other things. But this is part of the thing that you have to just deal with now.
Yeah, not having weekends off is fine. I'm totally
Yeah.
okay with that. That's my life. That's
Yeah.
what I signed up for. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm okay with that. The holiday thing is going to have that'll be a transition.
But
I'll eventually get there.
So right now you're thinking, boy, I just really don't have as much freedom as I used to. But in 10 years, you'll say, oh my God, how much freedom did I have? during-"
sure.
So
sure.
just it's perspective, right? So
Wait, I
you're
want
still
you-
pretty mobile.
Can you make me a list of things that you don't think I'm doing right as a 20-year-old, and
Ooh.
that I need to continue?
No,
and that
I think
need to-
I think part of the deal is you have to figure it all out yourself.
Yeah. Making
I'm not doing
mistakes
a
is
very good
part
job.
of it. Yeah.
You got to figure it out yourself.
You know, it's all about life is about trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
I might go to the zoo today.
Okay.
That's cool.
I think I'm like, I kind of want there to just be a day where I just go to the zoo and I just go on my own, like nobody else.
I
Get
like
a-
that.
Eat a sub sandwich. Just walk on in, see a giraffe. Go to the Desert Dome.
So you're gonna walk and eat a sandwich at the zoo.
No, I'll probably eat the sandwich in the car. I eat in the car. I don't really
Great take.
like.
I'm with you. I always eat.
I
the
can't-
food
No,
right
no, no.
away.
Why you guys eat in the car? You get the car dirty.
I don't like to eat in the car, but I also can't stand for the food to just sit there as I'm not eating it.
I don't think it's been maybe 3 years since I like taken a bag of food into the house.
Yeah.
Like I just eat it there. Now I like eating at a gas station. You just park at the gas station and then you eat your fast food because there's always a gas station next to the fast food places you go to.
You just pull into the
There's
gas
a parking
station and
lot,
sit
yeah.
there.
Yeah. But the reason why I eat at the gas station sometimes if it's close enough is like you go ahead and you get a drink there at the gas station because the drink is cheaper at the gas station.
You could do that.
And then they have all the trash cans there. You throw out all the trash cans.
Hey, real quick, happy 50th to Abe's.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Look at that.
Whoa.
Abe's. A Dundee staple.
that's right.
Yeah. All right.
What's your favorite Abe's moment, Josh?
Oh, so many.
Because you probably frequented there a lot when you were in
Yeah.
the previous job.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably getting Gary donuts. Why don't you go get me some donuts?
Other Gary.
Yes. The,
Other
yeah,
Gary.
yes.
Is this Honest Abe's, the burger place?
No.
No.
Oh,
The
Abe's on 50th.
what is it? A Phillips 66?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a convenience store.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good people.
So back to your food thing.
By many
So I had
people,
this
many things
discussion
there.
with, have you guys tried Williamsburg pizza?
Not yet. It's on the list.
Many,
really
many
good.
times.
They just opened one by.
But it's a long way
us.
from where I live.
Well, sorry.
Mhm.
Come
I
on
know.
out.
And so driving
It sounds
way,
like Gary's moving out west.
So driving
Way to go.
way out there.
Northwest
and
Omaha
then
is
having
hopping.
to drive back with the pizza and make sure that
Oh,
You know
it's
what?
still warm, so I don't have to put it in the microwave. I hate this when you bring food home.
Mhm.
You're like, oh, I got to put it in the
Oh,
microwave.
you had an
and
air
warm it up."
fryer. You had an air fryer. You don't have an air fryer?
I just want it to be natural.
I agree. So
There's-
that's why
there's-
you moved
So I said,
move
"Did
to
you guys
Northwest Omaha."
move Closer.
there's no
to-"
straight shot either.
No, it's yeah.
It's 25. This could be a hard 25.
Mhm.
Here's the other thing. I think we need in Northwest Omaha a new arena or a concert venue.
No.
Just so we can say we are a complete town now.
Nope.
And people will flock to Northwest Omaha.
Nope.
How many
We're
seats?
at 100 and probably about 7,000-8,000. You
Okay.
know, we can have a volleyball team.
I was
there.
about to say,
We
have
can start a new
third-
volleyball league.
Have a new volleyball league. Go to Northwest.
Let's do
Omaha.
like, I don't know, like 180th and Maple. You know, there's a lot.
Jeez, okay.
There's a lot going on out there. There's still some space. You could build
Hey, if
right
the-
next to a
hey,
Call 'em the
Costco.
Fighting
Hey,
John
if
Ewing.
Dublin can have two gigantic stadiums. So did you know the
But that's a-
Steelers Vikings game yesterday?
Yes,
That is not the stadium
wa-
that they play the college football game in.
correct.
That one,
Croke
there were
Park.
75,000 people there. But did you see when they would show like exterior shots? There actually were like homes right across the street.
I know those
It
are
was
how
like-
those
it was
stadiums
like
are built. Yeah,
a rugby stadium that was put in Wrigleyville.
Like Camping World Stadium in Orlando.
Yeah.
It's just in a neighborhood.
so that's how they do it. With those, I mean, this stadium was built in like the 1800s. They did the whole
Yeah.
thing, so it's just like it was just a neighborhood stadium, and now it's this huge, like palace type of deal, but it's still in a neighborhood.
Like they were saying, like if Chris Boswell would have kicked a field goal and had gone out of the stadium, it would have gone in this guy's front yard.
awesome. Croke Park is the home to who?
The
Where are my
rugby,
where are all my
the
soccer
Gaelic
people?
games.
Probably Celtics, maybe. Celtic FC. They might play
Do
there.
they have a permanent tenant? Host the home matches of the Ireland National Rugby Union team,
Mm.
the Republic of Ireland National Football team, while their new Aviva Stadium was constructed. Oh, so yeah, there's a second. As we talked about, that's where Nebraska played.
just a hair under 600,000 people in Dublin.
believe it.
And they have two
It's basically
large
Omaha.
stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if you include the suburbs, they have 1.3 million people.
just like we do. We're over 1 million with the burbs now.
It's a town of 1 million people.
That's right. Omaha. Come out to Northwest Omaha.
What's that?
There's pizza everywhere. Come on out. It's great.
How many pizza places are in Northwest Omaha?
I have so many.
Oh,
Yeah.
So many.
Is
So
there
many.
It's a
there-
town that has a
There's
lot of
something for
pizza
everybody.
places.
There's something for everybody.
is there like is one of them clearly like the best? And then
Well,
the
I mean,
other-
Williamsburg is pretty legit.
Yeah. And they just
Okay.
opened a new location.
Yeah.
Close
I
to
haven't-
Connor.
I haven't
They
asked.
have like 5 locations nationwide, and
Three
Yeah,
are in
3
New
of them
York.
are in actual Brooklyn.
Oh
yeah.
my god!
And then
That's
2 of
great.
them are in West Omaha.
Yeah.
I should go out there.
It's amazing.
It's like Pitch having locations here and in Phoenix.
Yeah. Right. Creighton University. It's like they have them, and we also have Phoenix.
I haven't had a local pie in forever. I've just eaten Domino's. It's disgusting.
Oh,
You got to jump on
I
some
know,
local
I know.
za.
But the problem is at the Domino's app, man, they give you so many great deals. Like
you get the peppers.
it's dude, like just for being alive, you get a free medium pizza. You know, it's just like I bet if I went on my app right now, I would have like a $7.99 2-topping medium pizza.
I recently heard
You
that
asked for the black box.
Got to go to Cops.
No, but I get the New York style thin crust, and it's like a game changer. If you have the opportunity when you're ordering on Domino's and you want to pick your crust, New York, it actually makes a massive difference. If you pick New York.
I wonder what is the most popular like chain pizza joint in Omaha. Is it Domino's? Because Pizza Hut, I see those people driving around all the time.
I mean, what-
Domino's,
Papa John's,
Little
spends a
Caesars,
lot of
Papa
money.
John's.
Little Caesars is convenient.
It's probably Papa John's. It's probably Papa John's.
See, look, I get a.
I really thought Papa Murphy's was gonna hit it off.
I like Papa Murphy's. I'll say.
It's
The old
still
take and
kind of
bakes.
exists,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's a
Mhm.
Papa Murphy's out in Northwest Omaha, 156 of Bondo.
Is it busy?
No, there's nobody there.
How come
90th,
that-
90th and 4th.
How come? How about?
It's in the parking lot of the gas station, which isn't open past 4.
That's right.
I hate that gas station.
You're right. That trend I thought was going to take off, where it's a take and bake.
Yeah.
and then it just kind of
Never really happened.
Look,
Hy-Vee kind of ate them, probably, because Hy-Vee's
Yeah.
got the take a base.
Oh yeah.
just existing, I get 50% off my next pizza order.
Way to go.
I know.
Way to
It's
exist.
just, I mean, it's just like I love local. But at the same time, it's just like if you don't have an app and you're not giving me free 16, garlic bites.
I recently heard that Jimmy John's is revamping their perks, their rewards,
Good
Yes,
perks.
someone
Because-
emailed us about this.
because
See what I
they.
got here.
Well, do you know how Jimmy John's reward system works right now?
Yeah,
No. The answer is no,
No, you
because no one knows. No
Oh.
one knows how it works. It
do you
just
know how to get points?
Yeah.
How to build points? How to stack points?
I just buy things. See, look,
Get
I
more
just got a
rewards.
free toasted sandwich.
exactly.
I
It's,
know.
it's
I
random.
mean,
Also,
Did you do
didn't.
anything?
Also, you didn't.
I didn't?
You did not. No. They'll like every once in a while, I get Jimmy John's a lot. And every once in a while, they're like, you only have to buy 4 more sandwiches to get a free bag of chips or something like that.
Oh, well, I can
I'm
get
like-
a free bag of chips right now. I have 600 points, and I also have a free dessert that I can use.
But you can never grow higher than that. So apparently, they're making their reward system make
Look,
sense now.
it just says rewards, how it works. Score 10 points for every $1 spent.
Okay, that's new.
Whether you're ordering in the app online or your favorite Jimmy John's.
That's new.
Turn those tasty points into rewards for free menu items.
That's new.
So $1 equals 10 points.
Now it does.
Speaking of the Jimmy John's that's on 72nd, did you see what happened with Starbucks, which I think is always popular in the world's worst parking lot at 72nd and Dodge?
What's going on with
That
that?
Starbucks is shutting down.
They unionized, and now the company's conveniently deemed it worthy of closing.
I've never
72nd.
not seen.
Wait, in the Target?
no,
No, in
the opposite
Fuddruckers.
corner
Oh.
where Mega Saver is.
Yeah.
But there is
That's
a
Scooter.
T-Mobile. There's a Starbucks. There's a
there is a
Chipotle,
scooters over there.
and it is a small get in and out. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But I've never seen that Starbucks not with a line.
Mhm.
And now they're gonna shut her down.
That's what you get for unionizing.
Somebody also suggested that Godfather
All right,
is
Hogan.
Omaha's #1 pizza, which they might be right.
Do it.
Do it.
You know what? We need to do this. So we
was
we need to bring back more of the buffets because I think there's only 2 or 3 that still exist.
What, the Drover? Or are you talking about pizza buffets?
Godfather's buffets.
Oh, okay.
The one in Exarban, the one on 84th.
I didn't know that there was any Godfathers, but well, I guess I knew.
That's how I got introduced to Godfather's was their buffet.
I guess there used to be one. Is that I haven't been in there in years. 108th and Maple.
Yes,
I ate
that's
there
still
last week.
108th.
And they,
so
and
are they still
actually,
buffeting
they
in
actually
there?
redid that whole store.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
It's really nice in there. They got a lot of big
Try my
TVs.
taco pie. I heard the Godfather was retiring.
Whoa.
I just a rumor.
Little birdie told you.
Just a rumor.
Not ready to go full
Are
on
you, do you
report.
have a
Hey,
source when it comes to
hold
the
on.
Godfather's pizza?
I got a connection to the guy.
Hold on here.
Oh yeah,
you
you're
can
gonna
text him.
aren't
Gary,
you?
just text him.
That's what I heard.
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, that's not. Whoa.
That's
He
what,
just got his own bobblehead.
I don't know where I heard this.
you definitely do.
So now he can be a
It just,
full-time
flo-
16.
it just
20
floated
zone
into your
listener.
ear.
It did. I can't remember who said it though. Maybe this is not a trusted source.
Like you can't replace him.
Well, exactly.
like,
They're gonna have to
there's-
figure out a whole new plan.
Nobody-
Should I apply?
Nobody. You don't talk like him.
Oh,
don't
well,
look
I
like
can.
him.
I can talk like him. Do it. You
That's
didn't like
like-
the Italian guy I sent you on Instagram.
No, that guy's
yesterday.
fake.
That
guy's a fake
You
Italian.
Wasn't
know-
it funny though?
No, it wasn't funny. 'cause
You know
he was
what?
a
That's
fake
the reason
Italian.
why there are only like 8 Ronald McDonalds in the country that talk exactly
8.
like all of them talk the same and
Oh.
look the same. There's only
Okay.
8 in the entire country.
Really?
Yep. And
Oh.
you have regions. So to make guest appearances,
Uh-huh.
you can only
Yeah.
grab from those 8.
Ronald McDonald bought me a hat once from at an Omaha Storm Chasers game.
He bought you a hat?
Yeah, it was amazing. By the way, Hockey Dad says Godfather retired 2 months ago, so I guess it
Oh.
already happened. Sources were correct. So I was at the Storm Chasers game. This is
Source, Pearl Harbor attack.
several years ago, and it was, they were doing something with the Ronald McDonald
Yeah.
House charities or whatever, and Ronald McDonald was in the store and in the team store, and I was gonna get a new hat, and I was like, oh, this hat's cool, and Ronald McDonald was like standing there. They were doing a bit, and like me and Ronald McDonald kind of like made small talk or whatever. And
Wait. Was he talking in a performative voice,
No,
or
he had-
was
so
it?
they have to talk. So previous life, we did a lot with McDonald's.
Mhm.
They have to talk like that.
He
All
ta-
the
yeah.
Ronald McDonald's talk
Yeah.
like that.
it was kind of like it's kind of like Elmo-y.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very. Oh, how
Yeah.
you doing?
They go
Right.
to school to practice how to speak.
And so I was happy to be a part of his bit, whatever he was doing.
Right.
And then I took my hat up to the register, and then Ronald McDonald comes up behind me. He's like, I got it. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Did you
I have a picture.
Did
yeah.
you have
I
like a regular
got it.
convo
Don't
with
worry,
him?
I got this.
Does
you-
he,
did you
does
have,
he
like-
have a wallet?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the one that says bad mother bleeper on it.
He must have had a certain amount of credit at the team store
I
or
think this-
something.
Can you imagine you and Ronald McDonald having like a normal football conversation? Like, oh, I like Georgia Tech minus 6.5.
Yeah, I mean, I could have said
Oh.
something like that.
Whoa, Husker Country in the YouTube chat.
Did Ronald McDonald buy Husker Country a hat?
Their McDonald's is closing.
What? Oh, no. Where's Husker Country located?
Gothenburg.
No.
Can you
We
go-
can't lose small town
I know.
McDonald's. That's the backbone of America.
Damn people in Kearney are running out the small town McDonald's.
That's crazy.
Hey, I was looking for a Ronald McDonald. Does he do cameo? Unfortunately, he doesn't do cameo. But do you know who does do cameo is John Gruden. I had no clue. How much do you think a message from JG would cost you?
It's great news. Great news for you, Matt.
$350.
$300
Look
for
at
a
that.
personal video. Now, Gary, I can text him for $2.99. Should I send him a text and be like, "Hey, do you want to come on the show?"
For $290?
No, $2.99. I can send him a message. I don't know. I
I'm
think
pretty
we're
sure you could
effective.
track down his number
Yeah.
if
The
you tried.
Omaha Athletics sent him a big package, so they have all that information.
Maybe that's my white
He's making
whale.
$2.99 for a random text.
For $2.99, just for you to send him a message. Not even he doesn't even have to text you back. You have to pay $3.
I would pay for a Frank the Tank today after the Mets collapsed.
Wait. We can look that up.
I noticed
Tough
his
times.
shirt was ripped last night on TikTok.
Yeah, he eats it.
Whoever could have seen this coming?
Yeah.
See, hot take though, Frank. I think Frank's New Jersey Devils meltdowns might be worse than his Mets meltdowns because his New Jersey Devils meltdowns happen at the stadium and everybody can hear him. Frank the Tank is $69.
Okay, that's
Nice.
not bad. That's a nice number. Hey, we haven't had a good Nebraska football just breakdown since I forgot his name from Corn Nation.
correct.
It's not John.
There is only pain and sadness.
With-
Bleep you.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nebraska got
yeah.
beat by Minnesota up in
Yeah.
Minneapolis, and he lives up in Minnesota, and he was covering the game.
Bleep everything. Go big red.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, come on.
But
Where
no
is everybody?
fan like meltdowns. There were no any on TikTok, just complete meltdowns. Why? We look at you see a Georgia fan stand in front like Matt was
I
in
know.
front of his TV and melts down. So with Nebraska fans,
I don't know. We've lost our touch.
Not motivated anymore.
We've lost our touch.
They don't care. Nebraska fans have stopped caring.
Maybe if they lose to Michigan State, we could get it going that way again. Give me some more video meltdowns.
What do you do this, Connor Happer? Chaos.
Chaos.
Chris says shout
could
out
lose.
to Pizza Shuttle. You guys remember Pizza Shuttle from college days?
Yes.
That
Pizza
pizza was
Shuttle.
only good between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. And then when it was found on your couch to eat at 8 a.m.
Indeed.
Is Pizza Shuttle like they would come into bars and they would sell pieces of pizza?
No, they were
okay.
a delivery takeout. You know where the U stop is on 17th?
Yes.
Samurai Sam's.
Yes.
Okay, that's where the pizza shuttle used to be.
Oh, okay.
Everybody knew the number by heart. But yeah, they would their busiest time would be between midnight and like 4 a.m., but they were only in college town.
Do
I
they
think they're still in Lawrence.
Oh, I'm sure.
do they have that here in Omaha where like you could be at a bar and just a pizza guy shows up with a bunch of boxes of pizza and you can buy like per slice?
Yeah. Well, what? I'm not. I don't
Well,
know
their
what that is.
girlfriend is walking
Like-
around with roses as well.
Oh, one of those.
What? What?
You never been in a bar where somebody comes in to sell roses?
No, I've never been in a bar.
It's really just one guy, isn't it?
There's
Is
a
it
whole
imagine-
there's a whole documentary about him.
Yeah.
I've never heard of
Usually-
that.
I've never,
No.
like most of them are women.
Well, no, there's the one guy who's.
Oh, are there
Oh.
copycats now?
Oh, I
okay,
mean,
now-
but many bachelorette parties do this.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like the one guy in
Yeah, it's the
Omaha
one
goes-
guy,
Yeah,
the
goes
rose
around
guy.
Okay,
selling
yeah.
the roses.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
Like
no, no.
11:45 at night, they'll come into the bar and they're
Uh-huh.
selling roses.
I've never experienced that in my life. I've experienced that. I was on a date with a girl at a bar, and,
Dean Badiato.
and she the just all of a sudden I hear from the bartender goes, "Pizza man," and then the pizza man just walked in and he had just all these boxes of pizza,
That's cool.
and I was just like, "All right, I'll take 2 slices," and then we just ate the pizza. I didn't know if that was
Ate the
existed
pizza.
here.
Nobody
It's aw-
else
It was awesome.
ate the pizza.
Dean
was in New
Badiato
York.
is Sicilian.
It was the best slice New York has to offer. It was a Sbarro slice.
Nice.
Hey, speaking of people coming in with roses and stuff, not really great sports topic, but it is reminds us that we're not just old Nebraska. The little incident with the night before owner, we have a little corruption, sexual favors, nightclubs, strip clubs.
Hello.
What happened? What's the update on
I
this?
took a little cash and sexual favors,
Hmm.
all that kind of stuff. You got charged last week. It's like big city crime in our little state of Nebraska.
happens.
But you have to read it and you'll be like, whoa,
Oh,
the charges, the allegations
Yeah.
kind of.
Sometimes you're reminded that Omaha is still Omaha.
I saw a regent had an eventful weekend as well.
Well, there was another regent who had an eventful time several months ago that
Oh.
involved a car and
Oh, was that video from several months ago?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
We're a real city. We have real
yeah.
city
Oh,
crime.
there's big time. Yeah, stuff.
We don't have any like Florida men or women stories anymore around here.
Not really.
It's real stuff.
That's right.
Just
out to
the
Omaha.
stuff that puts it behind bars for a decade.
That's
you know,
right.
that's what we've
Hard crime.
We've upgraded to the big leagues, boys.
We haven't had like any really off the wall crime stories around here.
Do we need to make a syndicate or something to spice some things up? I can make a gambling ring. I mean, I can put it together.
We need to get a bull in a car and drive it down to City Hall.
and have it crap all over the windshield.
That's right.
That was so funny. John Bishop's
Little quirks.
love of that story was incredible. His
Because he just
breakdown.
liked how it pooped.
Is John the type of guy where you say
Yes.
duty and he laughs?
Probably. He would say no to that, but probably.
Oh, I woke up this morning, guys, and I put on my pants.
Okay.
And guess what? There's no better feeling. I found $21 in
Whoa.
my pocket.
Hello.
That's cash.
Isn't that
Nice.
awesome?
You
Hell
take
yeah.
that to the zoo, get you a turkey leg or
Red or black?
something.
Oh, wow. You said the zoo, and he immediately went to, oh, yeah, the other side of the river.
Yeah. That's you.
Ed says, are you guys sure that the person that goes into businesses selling roses is also not the person that is Mr. Origami that I see on street corners all over Omaha?
No, I don't know. I don't know what he does.
Yeah,
He could
just
have
pops
multiple
up.
personalities. Yeah.
Like he's from Mr. Deeds. He just, out of the blue.
Yeah.
Mr. Origami guy sets up in the corner of a parking lot.
It is my mother.
You haven't seen it?
What is that? What was that?
That's from Mr. Deeds. You ever see Mr. Deeds?
No.
Oh man, you got to watch Mr. Deeds.
What's Mr. Dietz?
Adam Sandler.
Adam
Whoa.
Sandler
Oh,
inherits
yeah.
a lot of money and then has to adjust to the fact that he has a lot of money. That's the story. And
Does
John-
he have a hot girlfriend in it?
Yeah. Well, I
Winona
guess-
Ryder is in there. You know,
I think they become, yeah.
they
They have a sexual interest.
Thanks, Gary.
Hello.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't dislike Adam Sandler. I'm just not an Adam Sandler.
John
guy.
Turturro. What do you think about John Turturro?
Who's that?
All of his
Oh.
friends are in this movie.
John Turturro's great.
Is
Yeah.
David Spade in it?
No, Buscemi is though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
when
Buscemi actually has like
I
a
don't-
key role.
does Buscemi
As
act
the
anymore? Other
Cross
than,
eyes in jail.
does he? Does he?
French
act-
fries and Oreo. That's his line.
That's a good Buscemi.
Yeah.
He's does he do any actual acting nowadays, or is he just waiting on a Sandler call?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He was great in Grown Ups.
Hey, Adam
Wait,
Sandler.
that's my favorite Sandler movie. Is Grown
Adam
Ups.
Sandler
gotta
can take
stop.
you a lot of places. Look at his caddy is now performing at halftime of the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
What a
Dude, Bad Bunny
What a
kind of
rise.
rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny.
I'm all in on this halftime show. I'm
Bad-
excited
Bad
for it.
Bunny.
He is the most
you know?
popular artist.
Yeah, he's
But
awesome.
but I would guess that a lot of people when they announced it yesterday were like,
What?
No,
Bad
you'd be
Bunny?
surprised.
the 45 and older generation.
Oh, yeah.
Bella,
Oh,
Bella,
Oh, it's gonna be lit.
Bella.
It's gonna be awesome.
Does he seem like a backup? Like it was going to be Taylor?
No, he is not a backup. He's more popular than Taylor, I'm pretty sure, right now, worldwide.
boy. I bet there's going to be a
Now
lot
he
of
is, like,
speak
the-
Merc.
Dude,
and-
he's got
He
the
just
most
did a
streamed
residency
artists in the
Puerto
world.
Rico.
Yeah.
But see, Taylor wanted to get paid apparently.
Where is the Super Bowl halftime?
Santa Clara.
They're in Santa Clara, California. Okay.
she
good thing-
has to know.
Good thing it's having like New
It's
Jersey
not a
or
paying
something, you
gig.
know?
But should it be a paying gig?
No, it shouldn't be. You have
Performing
100.
at Sa- it's-
You have
that's a tough
100. You have
performance.
120 million people watching you. I mean, there's no better opportunity for you to boost your notoriety. There are
What-
so many people who would do it for free.
What's Bad Bunny's fee for 20 minutes?
Really, Pepsi can't shell out a couple shekels for for
I
Bad Bunny?
haven't heard shekels in
Yeah, they
forever.
don't. They've never. I guess the halftime performer's never been paid.
Stupid.
And it's not like you just show up the day of the Super Bowl and go, okay, what should we do?
Right. There's some work.
You're gonna make money though.
Well, yeah,
You're
on the
gonna make
back
money.
end.
Yeah,
Oh God, yeah. On the
I mean,
back
look at
end.
Up With People.
I mean,
made a
what?
lot of money.
I mean,
still
how
killing
much?
it to this day.
Like, how much would you get for like Josh's point? 20 minutes. Like, what are you getting on the front end? And also, too, there are so many people who are willing to do it for free, where they don't need to pay for it.
But it would be bad if you did that.
Now, the Ryder Cup guys got paid for that absolutely atrocious performance. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a joke.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get paid, you gotta.
Tough weekend for America.
Nothing like doing your homework on Sunday night.
All right,
Yeah.
boys, we got to let you go. It's time. It's time to go.
See you, Connor.
Everybody out of here. That's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It is Monday. We'll start things up next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone.
Partly cloudy for your Monday and staying very warm. High today in Omaha of 88 degrees with winds out of the south up to 10 miles an hour. Overnight tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies, warm with a low of 63 and light winds out of the south. For your Tuesday, mostly cloudy at the high of 80. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KATV Newswatch 7.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sad it was a tie.
It's like kissing your sister.
I can't believe it was a tie. I can't believe that this is a rule that I didn't know existed until just now, because apparently I don't watch the NFL at all. There's a tie every single year.
The Europeans won twice over the weekend.
I enjoyed the game all the way up until the end, and the result was a tie. I guess you could say, Josh, I am in it for, I'm a process-oriented guy. I don't need the result. I don't need the payout at the end. It's nice. It's nice to get it. I would have liked to laugh at a team last night, and really, both teams I think are worth laughing at in a 40-40 tie. But yes, that's our Sunday Night Football recap. Nice job, everyone. 40-40.
Matt LaFleur's an idiot.
Big time. Yeah.
I don't know, guys. If we tried to score a touchdown right now, there'd be 18 seconds left, and we don't. No, we're not doing that.
Oh.
So it's a tie or nothing.
Hopefully, we learned a lesson this weekend. If you coach like you are the most scared person on planet Earth, you lose or tie.
Interesting.
Scared money don't make no money, baby. And you know who's not scared? Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning is not afraid to do artificial or non-artificial drugs on television.
Coaching football is that man's drug.
It's his drug. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Mike Schaefer will join us at the top of the hour. Sam McKewon coming up at 1. That's the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We want to hear from you all today, 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. You can call or text that number, tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, email Connor Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to the YouTube streamers today. People are talking about how they followed Josh this weekend and they earned themselves some sandwiches, which is interesting because I looked at our pick standings from over the weekend and we both sucked. So what of it, Josh? You decided to not put your money where your mouth was? You put your money in a different place?
Well, you make me pick the hard games. I pick the easy ones and win money.
We have always done it that way. And it's probably not the best, but it is our excuse. It's our way to talk about the big games.
Sure.
But it's definitely not the games that we would be betting. That's for sure.
Oh, I was all over Oregon.
Josh was all over Oregon. And
you didn't trust James Franklin in a big game?
Oh, I got something for James.
Bleep you, Vegas.
I got something for James coming up in just a minute.
Okay.
Matt Rule's Monday press conference. Back at it. Nebraska taking on Michigan State this week. That's coming up at 11:30. So they do play Michigan State, and they are double-digit favorites. Oh my God! I'm so
8.
scared. What
I saw
if they
8.
lose?
Wow, this is great.
I saw 10.5.
Hello.
Yeah, it's floating around. It's moving around. I don't know. Somebody get back to me if you're. We're just gonna say that Nebraska's a double-digit favorite. They're expected to win this game. So we're gonna take a look at Nebraska's history in. Do you trust them to win a game by double digits? Do you trust that Saturday is a TCB situation against Michigan State? We'll get into that. 40-40, unbelievable. The middle of the Big Ten looks softer and softer by the week. We say goodbye to Sam Pittman.
No, Sam Pittman.
I'm gonna have myself an old cold beer. We
say hello to Bobby Petrino.
Welcome back, Bobby. We missed you dearly. Are we still firing Kalen DeBoer? Sources say no.
Seems like that would be a bad idea.
Is the Ryder Cup the new Waste Management Open? #debauchery.
Ooh, a debauchery update.
There was some debauchery this weekend. I talked a lot about the Waste Management Open, about how I was, I'm very old now, Josh.
Yes.
So I was triggered about the Waste Management Open and the drunkards and things like that.
Oh, you wanted decorum.
Well, yeah. So what? I like a little bit of decorum. And we have the Ryder Cup. It's America versus Europe, and yet we have no decorum whatsoever. We can't even lose with grace.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And of course, one of my favorite things about this show is that anytime Gus Johnson does anything, we hear about it. Now, fortunately, we were watching Illinois and USC, where I was anyway. Josh was at Lewis Central High School.
Nah, I wasn't watching.
Illinois and USC, and immediately when it happened, my phone got a couple notifications. Did you happen to hear what just happened with Gus Johnson? Also, anytime Gus Johnson does the toss to the AAG, I hear about it. It's a good thing. So, I was ready. Well, we got it. They're both on the board, right, Josh?
Yeah, I was looking for Jack.
Oh, it's on there. I got it. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about it. You talk about this.
Warren looking, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Unbelievable. Wow, Jack Sawyer, the hero. Captain Jack.
That was last November. We noted how Gus sounded in that. That had been a long season for him. Now we fast forward to this past Saturday, where Gus Johnson tries to call a fumble that goes into the end zone that's picked up by US. This would have been a game-clinching touchdown for Illinois, a game that which they ended up still winning. But this would have been a game-sealing touchdown for Illinois. Here's how it sounded on Fox on Saturday.
Here's Valentine. He lost it. Who wants it? Oh, my goodness. In the end zone. USC has a football. Holy Chicago.
Crowd mic was hot.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until just now.
Unintelligible, though. If there was any
yeah.
bad words, certainly unintelligible. That's what I would say.
Holy Chicago.
I don't know where he gets this stuff.
Thank you, Gus.
I don't know where he gets this stuff. Also, I mean, we probably have to have the conversation about how he's totally lost it on the big calls now. Those used to be full on screams. I don't think he can go there anymore. He doesn't have the full on, Gus. We used to call him Gus gasms.
Some people did.
He doesn't have the full range of motion anymore. It's very sad, but
yeah,
we loved it. I don't know why he said "Holy Chicago." Is there any update on this?
Well, he was in the state of Illinois.
Yes,
where Chicago resides.
A couple hours down the road. Yeah.
You think he? Well, yeah, he should know that.
I think he probably knew that he wasn't in Chicago. You see, he had to take a car to get to Champaign from Chicago. I think Gus knew that he wasn't in Chicago, but I guess I can't be sure. He probably thought, well, it's a long ride out to the burbs today.
Or do you think he was going to say
holy shiitake mushrooms?
Yes, and had to pivot mid-word.
It's possible. It's very, very possible.
Here's Valentine. He lost it. Who wants it? Oh, my goodness. In the end zone. USC has a football. Holy Chicago.
Did he drop a holy Chicago last year when he was, or a couple years ago when he was trying to bench Jeff Sims? I feel like he was close to it. Anyways, they gotta get this guy out of here. He's killing them. Thank you, Gus. You're always there for us, and we needed you on Saturday. I learned a lot about a lot of things during that game, including both those teams aren't very good.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, interesting take.
Pillowy soft middle of the Big Ten Conference. We'll take a look at the top of the Big Ten when we return. Or is it the top? James Franklin, you're gonna hear a lot of things about yourself today. And you're gonna have to look into the camera and say, I know. I did that. It's true. We're back after this on 1620 The Zone. Oh, but first, yes, a word from our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Oh boy, Josh. The problem is I have to be prepared for this type of thing. So,
stay ready. You don't have to get ready. UnderdogFantasy.com.
Indeed, Josh. Football back and rolling. We're headed into the month of October very soon. Some are saying the best month for football. Underdog, the best place to make picks and win money all season long. You can play right now in the state of Nebraska, and it's easy. Just pick whether your favorite players would go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. And you can play with as little as $1. There are 2 NFL games going on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, which is fantastic. We have a full weekend of college and pro ball over the weekend as well. So maybe you like one of your guys that you have on your fantasy football team, and you're going to double down. You're going to say, I'm going to take higher. That way it's a good week for you on your fantasy team and on your Underdog fantasy team as well. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code HAPPER1620 to score $50 in bonus bets when you play your first $5. That's promo code HAPPER1620. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 and over, present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. All right. Some movement at the top of the Big Ten Conference over the weekend. Oregon does something that people thought was impossible to do. Could you imagine flying all the way across the country to play at the Penn State whiteout game and win? Oh, for Oregon, you don't have to imagine anymore. All you have to do is dream and sleep happy at night, because the coach across from you is a huge baby wimp. I'm talking to you, James Franklin.
Oregon 11-6 in the whiteout game, so I don't know if it's a huge advantage.
Oregon was 11-6 in the whiteout game.
That's their record.
Oregon has a whiteout game?
Oh, I'm sorry. Penn State. I'm sorry. Penn State is 11-6.
They've only done 17 whiteout games. Ever?
Well, 13-9.
Don't they have like it's 13-9 now?
Yeah, yes.
They've only done 22 whiteout games?
Apparently.
All right. I did see some thing during the game. It was like a true whiteout game versus a real white. I don't know what.
Oh, was it fan organized for a while and then the university co-op? Anyway, James Franklin sucks.
Their whiteout thing. Yeah. Cool. They were white to every game anyway. I mean, they're all whiteout games, but whatever. Great atmosphere. Loud crowd.
It was very loud. You could tell.
Was worried that the stadium was going to fall over, but
oh, that's right.
Unfortunately, nobody can save James Franklin from being himself. I would be incensed if I was a Penn State fan because you've reached this point where you have a top 10 most talented team in the country. You've had one for a while now, right? Penn State wins 10, 11, 12 games every year. Last year they get to the semifinal. They have a quarterback who, and we'll talk about this in a second because there's differing opinions on Drew Aller. But they have a quarterback who people think have the tools to be a first-round draft pick. And maybe they watched him play in that game. They thought, oh, man, I don't know. It just something's off there. It doesn't look right. I'm going to speculate on what that thing might be here in just a moment. And then, like always, you get into these moments, whether it be against Ohio State or Oregon or whoever, you go into a shell. Like always. I'm going to give Aller a little bit of a break. I really think so. One of the conversations that popped out after that game was, did they let the wrong quarterback leave? Bo Pribula, he went to Missouri and he's putting up awesome stats in Missouri's offense. And he was the backup to Aller last year. Remember, he was the one who controversially left during the college football playoff last year because he felt like he needed to get out and find a spot. And he ended up at Missouri where he's putting up fantastic stats. He looks like a real player. He looks like a real quarterback. I think if Drew Aller goes somewhere with an offense that doesn't have training wheels on him constantly, or his little mommy holding his hand, he would be a good quarterback. I truly believe that. I tend to believe in quarterbacks longer, but mostly because I don't think that people give enough credit or throw enough fault or blame at coaching staffs for when quarterbacks are bad.
Okay, you're probably right about that.
I think people look at quarterbacks and they say, ooh, this just isn't right. And I often think about the situations that they are put in. They don't allow him to do anything. And what do you know? They're down by a touchdown or 2 touchdowns late, and he takes them right down the field. Why? At that point, the training wheels are off because they have to be. You have no other choice. You have to go down and you have to score. And he threw a perfect pass in the hit zone for a touchdown. Like, he has constant training wheels on him. They don't allow him to do anything. They're running all the most ridiculous crap. And like, once again, this is one of the top 10 most talented teams in the country. They could just do what they do and be okay. But I think this coach in particular is so risk averse that it is hindering their entire program. And people wonder why they get into these games and they lose them. It's no secret. You have to be the aggressor. And so when we talked about Oregon and Penn State on Friday, it was like, well, does anybody doubt the stuff that Oregon is made out of? Hell no. And that's why they won the game, because of the stuff that they're made out of. Because their coach is, he's a walking quote and he's a badass and it looks like he's on cocaine after they win the football game in Happy Valley. But he also emboldens and trusts his players to go out and make plays. At a certain point, you just have to let go. Franklin doesn't. And he never has. And he's always been very secretive about the way they operate in their program. And it's a very buttoned up program. Aller gets all of the control taken out of his hands because Franklin is paranoid and doesn't trust literally anyone. With that being said, they've had a bunch of offensive coordinators over the years, defensive coordinators over the years, and always it ends up being the same thing. So I love getting on James Franklin. I think he deserves it. Also, shout out to Oregon. They're the aggressor. They're not afraid. And shame on you, Penn State.
Great take. Shame on you, Penn State.
It's serious. I mean, I don't know if they win the game anyway, right? Like it's a good game, but I at least want to see if I'm a scout or if I'm just an enjoyer of college football, which I absolutely am. I want to see what Aller is made of. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't get great vibes from him, but I want to see him cut loose. They never give him the ability to cut loose. The training wheels are always on. And so if I ever try to take Penn State in a game like this again, please stop me, because they're giant babies. Giant babies.
Babies.
So I mean,
I like that. Yeah.
And we're talking about when Penn State plays a team who is on the same talent level as Penn State. The same thing might not apply for when they play Nebraska or whatever. Although I do think you watch that game and you're like, oh,
puncher's chance.
Yeah. We got a window of opportunity because they're never going to stomp us out.
Yeah.
They're running all these different, like, so you might look at that as a college football fan and you might say, oh, well, they're taking the ball out of Aller's hands because they don't trust, they're running 4 different quarterbacks. Last year was Warren, who they brought in and played quarterback. I mean, he's a weapon, right? They're doing all these different things and jet sweeps and reverse passes and whatever the crap they're doing. They're just taking the ball out of Aller's hands because they don't trust him. I don't think they trust anybody. I don't think he trusts anybody. I think at Penn State, given their situation and given how they like to play, they have to have a quarterback who can just, like, it was better for them when they were a little less talented and a guy like McSorley was their quarterback, because McSorley could just run around and be the X factor
and scoot.
Yeah, just run around and kind of make plays. And now you have this quarterback and you don't want to expose him or overexpose him or whatever it is. I actually just want to know, like, I think a lot of people want to know, how good is this guy? And I just don't think we can, because of the way that they handle him. It's embarrassing.
And if you're a coach as good as Dan Lanning, yeah, you're going to dare. You're not daring Drew Aller to throw the football. Drew Aller wants to throw the football. You're daring the coaching staff to draw up a passing play. And despite all the evidence to the contrary, they're like, nah, we don't need to.
Sometimes you gotta go let those guys play,
yeah.
And I think there is a balance there. You don't want to have too much on your quarterback's shoulders. It's something that every program is trying to find the balance to, right? You don't want it all to be on their shoulders, but at a certain point they have to, it's got to be about them a little bit. It's got to be about the players. It's got to be about the quarterback. I think Nebraska is doing like an okay job at that. They probably are a little bit closer to putting too much on Dylan's shoulders, but he's holding up at the moment, right? So they don't. The Black Cat writes in, remember when they had 0 completions to receivers in the playoffs? Yes. The reason why they win so many games is because they're more talented than basically everybody on their schedule. But the reason they don't win any of the big games is because they are scared. Soft.
You could see it happening in real time. James Franklin was playing not to lose.
Yep.
Which is weird, because you think a coach in that position would go, hey, I always lose this game. Why don't I go for it?
Well,
if I lose, I still am the loser coach who loses the big games.
And what makes it more funny is that there's such a stark contrast on the other side. Like, the other coach is the exact opposite. He's like, I don't give a bleep. We're going.
He's the Dan Campbell of college football.
To his, and Oregon probably takes it too far in the other direction. Like, historically as a program, they're going for 2 in senseless, meaningless situations and stuff like that. Like, you have to be smart about all that stuff, but they are who they are. Penn State's going to win another 11 games this year just by sitting around and, doing what they do. They got 2 great running backs. I think they have a pretty dang good quarterback. They're talented as heck, and they don't reach their ceiling every single year. You might look at Penn State and say, oh, wow, they overachieve. No, they don't. They underachieve. They win a lot of games, but they underachieve.
I mean, they punted from the Oregon 36.
Correct, Josh.
in the second half of that game. It was the second half, right?
I was late. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what?
Great idea.
Where's the stones, man?
Excellent idea.
Oh, and it was a touchback too. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So congratulations on that extra 16 yards of field position. All right, we'll be back. Mike Schaefer will join us on the other side.
Guards fan.
Schaefer and I have had plenty of conversations about James Franklin in our times. But yes, it is a nice day for Schaefer. Almost a comeback win on Sunday morning for his Vikes as well.
That's right.
Weren't able to get the job done.
Now they get to stay in Europe.
Yes, we love Europe, don't we?
Yeah.
All right, Mike Schaefer is with us on the other side on 1620 The Zone.
Come the Guardians.
Yeah, I have statistics to back up that we have people that listen.
Mike Schaefer.
Anytime there's sort of a debate as to who can do something, Happer would always put his name forth. For sure.
Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I could be a star.
Mike Schaefer joins now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Schaefer, good Monday morning to you. How we doing?
I am good. I'm good. How are you after this delightful bye weekend?
It was fantastic. I'm sure you're feeling even better. Your Guardians ended up winning the AL Central. Amazing. And now they get the giant stress ball of 3 games in 3 days, and one of them's against Tarek Skubal. So you get to, as great as the last month has made you feel, now you head into the MLB playoffs, which end up being a giant stressor for everyone.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a massive pressure cooker, and I didn't really believe that this team was going to do it. I didn't even believe they were going to do it after they did it. And they just keep finding dumb ways to win, and so let's see how long they can keep that up. So it'll be fun. It will be a little bit like, oh, cool, if they get like swept, I guess, in 2 games. I hope there's at least, if they don't win the series, they at least go to a 3rd game, like, so there's something there. But it does feel like a very Cleveland thing that they would come back from a record deficit only to just have a 2-game stay.
But you had that month, like it's about the journey, not the destination.
Fine. I mean, if all cards on the table, this is an incredibly aggravating team to sort of root for. And it got to the point this summer where I wouldn't watch games in their entirety, or even really I knew they were winning or losing every day, but I would sometimes only check in for Jose Ramirez at bat and then just check back out, because there's only so many times I can see Gabriel Arias strike out with runners on base before I just want to scream things. And now with a young child who just soaks up everything I say, I have to be better about what I say out loud, because eventually he's going to start repeating these things.
Yeah, I've started to sort of think about that as well. But yeah, it'll be okay. We could use another little Schaefer. We just don't need the bad words, but the snarky reactions to the Guardians scoring 0 runs, just having that in a miniature version, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope he picks other sports teams. I'm fascinated how that's going to develop. Having sat there with him yesterday morning watching the Vikings just soil themselves over in foreign soil, and then we were watching the Ryder Cup, and then we watched some NFL. I hope he just finds other teams. I don't think he needs to root for the same teams I do. All that being said, I definitely did buy him a Jose Ramirez shirt to wear literally for one day this week. Maybe he'll get to wear it next week too. We'll find out.
Okay, let's go back to the college football weekend. Like you said, took place. The sun still came up even without Nebraska football this weekend. And college football is a great weekend. Where does your mind go first when you think about the results in the Big Ten, or anything that you saw that might have an impact on Nebraska's future remaining this season?
I think if anything, we learned that Nebraska's schedule didn't get more difficult overnight. But they've got a series of games coming up here where they're just kind of a bunch of coin flips. I don't know that we think Nebraska is good enough that they should just run this table over the next 4-game stretch. But they should be good enough to win 3 of them. And I watched some of Minnesota Rutgers. I watched very, very, very little of Northwestern UCLA.
Yeah, that's okay.
And Michigan State were off this week, so they didn't play. But, I mean, Nebraska's got more talent and better than these teams. It's nothing that we haven't said before. They just have to go and prove it on the field. And I really think, honestly, my biggest takeaway, and I didn't really want to have this conversation because I feel like it's taken up a lot of space already through the first 5 weeks of the season. I truly believe they have one of the best quarterbacks in the country on their roster. It's sort of where I'm at with it mentally. It's beyond the sort of is Dylan good conversation. Yes, he's good, full stop. The next part of the conversation for me is how does Nebraska make sure that they're not wasting having one of the best quarterbacks in the country? And I watch other teams, and yeah, Nebraska's roster isn't as good in other places, but what Dylan did against Michigan, you weren't seeing that from some of these quarterbacks in top 25 games on Saturday. And so how can they utilize this offense? Can they lean into throwing the ball a little bit more? Can they figure something out so they can put up 30 to 35 points a game in Big Ten play? I think that's going to win you a bunch of games. And so I came out of the weekend really, I understand people are really worried about the run defense. I just want Nebraska to figure out how to score 35 points. If they do that, they're going to be fine.
Well, I think another thing that goes into all that stuff, Schaefer, look around. This is a thing that really popped out to me this weekend. Look around at some of the defenses in this conference. It's just not like, and
defense throughout football. I mean, you're seeing it in the NFL. You're seeing it, at every level. Like it is hard to be a defender, and offenses have gotten pretty good. Starting position seems to be starting closer to the 30, so you have smaller field to attempt to score on. Yeah, I feel the same way, Connor. I mean, I still get individual great defensive plays every now and then, but I think it's really hard to play great defense week in and week out. And I don't know that Nebraska's defense is that bad, and I don't think it's amazing. So if it can be somewhere in the middle, it's going to give you opportunity. Sorry to cut you off.
No, I'm totally. I mean, that's exactly kind of where I was going. Like, the more that you can lean into the thing that you do well. Like, the thing about all these teams in the middle where Nebraska's at right now in the conference is that everybody has holes. And I look at a lot of those defenses and I say, man, there's some opportunity to really, really score some points. Starting with this Saturday against Michigan State. I mean, their defense has been, taken to task a couple times so far this year. So if anything, a week ago, Schaefer, when we talked, it was like, yeah, lean into throwing it, throw the ball. I would like to double down on that on this Monday. Yeah.
Double down. Get more money on the table.
I'm all the way in. Like, I really think, not that you just say again.
All the chips in on just trying to outscore people.
Yeah, I think so. Not that you just completely abandon running the ball or playing defense or any of the, you still have to be fundamentally sound in those categories, but man, you got to utilize your strengths, and Nebraska's is clearly Raiola's right arm.
Here's something else that I would like to see more of from Nebraska, and I'm sure everybody would, but let me kind of sort of talk through it. We heard about how aggressive John Butler was. I don't think it'd be the worst thing if Nebraska's that sort of defense that, yes, it gives up big plays, but it also takes the ball away. Like, we need to see more of that from Nebraska's defense and less of just kind of the bend, don't break, hang around, hopefully you get off the field on a 3rd and long. The passing defense has been good, but I would love to see them get their hands on more passes, knock the ball up in the air, come away with interceptions, more havoc-type plays. I mean, this is obvious stuff, but you can mitigate being a team that gives up or bust if you can also be a team that forces the offense into turning the football over. And they're not doing enough of the second to make up for the first. And so if that can flip just a little bit, starting with Michigan State, if you're able to force Hayden Styles into a bad pass early in that game, you're able to force 2 turnovers against Maryland. I think Nebraska's offense can punish people that way and still survive, even if, there's a defensive bust and you give up a 40-yard touchdown.
Do you think, Schaefer, that people around here could handle Nebraska's defense not being able to stop the run very well, but being more of a high turnover, explosive, type of defense? How do you think that would sit around here stylistically?
I don't know, because we haven't seen it really come to that. That's what Eric Shenander wanted. I mean, obviously every defensive coordinator wants to stop every play all the time, but I think his version of Nebraska was that, maybe they're going to give up some stuff between the 20s, but they're going to be great in the red zone, and they're going to gamble when they have opportunities to gamble. And that's what I think John Butler wants to be. And I think they certainly want to be more aggressive than they have been. I just think some of it is they're not getting good enough individual performances at some spots. We talked about this on our Husker 24/7 daily, but I would like to see, and he didn't even play at all against Michigan, I'd like to see the Willis McGahee that was a bit of a disruptor last year. I mean, for 4 games, he's been pretty quiet other than not being home on that end around against Cincinnati. So that's one of these guys where it's like, I'd like to see a little bit more, from somebody like that. Can we see some more Williams Winery? Can he continue to grow? Can they have some guys in that front 7 besides McCullough, who's largely been the one person, be more disruptive up there? I think Vincent Shavers is in that McCullough category as well, but they need more of that. Elijah Judy helped punch the ball out against Bryce Underwood. Can you get more just strong individual play It doesn't have to be every play, but, can Riley Van Poppel stick a ball in the air and bat the ball up and have Jamin Wright run underneath of it? I mean, just stuff like that. It doesn't have to be every single snap of every play. They don't have to be perfect. But can we get just flash moments in there to allow this offense to get more possession? And I continue to think if they lean into the pass and lean into what they are, they're going to put up points. And I don't think the Big Ten, I haven't seen Ohio State probably has the best defense in the conference.
Definitely.
Right? Nebraska doesn't have them on their schedule. And so, even Penn State's defense doesn't strike me as something Nebraska can't move the ball on and put up points when they play them in Happy Valley in a month.
Schaefer, before we let you go, do you have any thoughts on our friend James, aka Jeff Franklin?
Yeah, James Franklin, Jeff Franklin, whatever version of Franklin. I continue to just believe in Penn State at the expense of every possible statistic and trend. I'm doing the same thing with the Buffalo Bills. Ultimately, I'm just a loser, and I believe in losing franchises. See the Guardians, see the Vikings. I think James Franklin's a great coach. They just, for whatever reason, can't seem to get it done when it matters. And this was a great opportunity to go win that football game, and they didn't. And I'm kind of at a breaking point where I haven't really been defending Drew Aller. But that guy, and this is where, where high school recruiting versus the reality of how things play out. Like, people want to pretend like Dylan Raiola hasn't been very good. Dylan Raiola versus Drew Aller's career. I mean, Dylan Raiola is going to surpass that. He had a better game against Michigan than what Drew Aller has had in most of his games against ranked opponents in his career so far, of a much better supporting cast. So, that was a guy that was a highly, highly touted quarterback who had one of the best highlights I've seen from a high school quarterback. And I thought he was going to be a slam dunk NFL guy. And he's going to play in the league, but man, it is. You can only talk about potential so much until eventually it shows up and hits you in the face. It just hasn't done that yet.
All right, Shafe, we'll let you go. Enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, postseason baseball. I'll let you know how the pacing is going.
Excellent. See you later. Yeah. Mike Schaefer, Husker, 24/7. I believe I will be the special guest on the Hypecast this week.
Whoa, hello.
We're looking forward to that.
How do you prepare for the Hypecast?
We got to come up with a couple oddly specific predictions.
Okay.
Picks to click, and tell people what you think about the game.
Will there be a special would Mike Schaefer click on this link?
That's a great
within
question.
The Hypecast?
Maybe I could bring that to the table. I mean, we have our bits. It would be, the 3/24/7 guys, and then, the guest who would be me this week. Mm-hmm. We have our bits with all of those guys.
That's right.
So maybe I could just bring all of them to the podcast, make for a special long Hypecast this week. Nebraska plays Michigan State. All right. When we come back, Matt Rule will speak.
Oh, yes.
What did he think about football over the weekend? Josh has a prediction on what Matt Rule is going to say. Do you want to keep that in, or do you want to let it go?
Okay. Just in case I am correct, I'll say it on the front end.
Okay.
You want me to share it now?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Because this will be the last time we talk. Yes.
Okay. I believe Matt Rule at some point in the press conference will take an off ramp and talk about the respect he has for James Franklin and the job that is Penn State. Oh, it's a great job. It's
interesting.
Just grew up, rooting for those guys, and James does a great job over there.
Interesting, because I think I'm similar. I think he's going to be like, I watched a lot of college football, something along these lines. Mm-hmm. Watch a lot of college football over the weekend. It's a great lesson for our guys that other teams have holes. They have issues too, and so they're not alone in that. A lot of times we make our issues to be the biggest issues in the world, but everybody else has got their own thing too. Other teams lose games. I think he'll probably do something like that. That's my prediction for the Matt Rule press conference. All right, we'll be back. Matt Rule will speak on a Monday as we prepare for Nebraska and Michigan State this Saturday. Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Got a YouTube comment here from Mike.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Off topic, why is Willy Wonka on ESPN2 right now? It's caused us to turn the channel to ESPN2, and then right before it opened up, I know what he's doing. He's talking about Cam Newton, and there he is. If you're watching on Josh's screen with a large glare, he's in the far right there. Oh, let's take it down. We'll get YouTube stricken. We can't have that happen, Josh.
Come at me, bro.
Up, and you just disappeared.
Oh, God, did I unplug something?
Yeah, you did. That's okay. It's just me on camera now. Hi, everybody. Cam Newton's great take about Dylon. Whoa. He had a take, some guy did a TikTok or whatever and was talking about how Dylan looks like Patrick Mahomes and all those, the regular stuff that was going on last week. And Cam Newton's take was, hey, you, TikTok man, sound like every other TikTok guy I've ever seen. So what's the problem with if you're acting like every other TikTok person that's out there and doing takes about football, then why is it not okay for Dylan Raiola to act like a guy who he admires?
Oh, if you're a muscle-bound bald man in a schmedium giving takes on college football, you're just copying the other muscle-bound men wearing schmediums with bald heads.
And you know how the TikTok guys talk. They have a certain language that they speak. I don't know.
TikTokanese?
Yeah, it's related to the algo. I don't know how it works, but for some reason, if they talk like this, then they get clicks.
Somebody wind that back and play it at 1.5 speed and let us know what happened.
Yeah, I don't get it. But that's what Cam Newton did. So nice job by Cam Newton. Great take. Well, gotcha journalism there. Good job by him. Like I said, when Matt Rule starts talking, we'll head out. We do have a MLB playoff, though.
They will have a playoff. They will. Okay, I wasn't sure because the Braves weren't in it if it was worth doing.
Are you ready to see it? Here it is. There's our big, beautiful bracket, Josh. I think it's funny and interesting. Nobody really pays attention to the Dodgers anymore during the regular season because
they play at 9:30.
I was looking at my MLB win totals, my projections that I had at the beginning of the year. Do you happen to remember what the Dodgers win total was?
Oh, it was like 104 or something like that, wasn't it?
Right, Josh. It was. I'm going to pull up the exact number because I was looking at my Google sheet at how many things I got wrong yesterday. The Dodgers win total was 105.5. They went under. They still made the playoffs, but they did not get one of the top two records in
divisional.
The NL, which means their season now comes down to 3 games. And when your season comes down to 3 games, Josh, you never know. You never know. It comes down to 2 games.
I've got a hunch how it's going to go.
I don't because I think it could go however it goes. Hunter Green is going tomorrow.
That's the one you got to worry about.
Yeah, but you're not guaranteed to win the other game. I mean, Josh, there's no lock that the Dodgers make it into the division series. No lock. I'm dead serious. It's all up for grabs now.
Okay, the last couple of years of baseball playoffs have been a random champion generator. Like I'll grant you that.
Especially in the wild card round when it's 3 games all at one site. Like teams win road series all the time, Josh. And that's what would need to happen. The Reds, I know they snuck into the playoffs.
Because the Mets didn't.
Because the Mets, the most expensive team of all time, did not. I'm just saying, watch out. Watch out. Comes down to 3 games here. Dodgers, same thing for and it's interesting how Cleveland and Detroit end up playing each other. Of course, in the first series, so they'll just eliminate each other. And then the Yankees and the Red Sox 3 in the playoffs. And then, of course, you get some pretty good storylines here. Cubs and Padres rematch of 84. You know,
And then the Dodgers and
the Reds. This is definitely going to be a random champion generator for sure. But get ready, all of you people who their team made the MLB playoffs. Get ready. You're in for nonstop stress.
Oh,
for the next couple of weeks. What I wouldn't do to have that stress right now.
I know.
Be great.
It's the best bad feeling in the world.
I was sitting there on the final day of the regular season, which, by the way, love what MLB does, playing everybody at the same time on the final day of the regular season. Good job by them. Even though there is no game 163 anymore, which is sad. I wish we would have had a game 163 today.
Terrible decision.
But here we are. And I was sitting there on the final day of the regular season, just hoping and praying that my team would win the game against the now Sacramento Athletics to finish off a greater than 500 team, which they did.
My team won the last game of the season as well.
Yeah, this is like the crown for us, Josh.
It is. Feels good. Sent Charlie Morton off a winner.
Captain writes in. Connor is the only one who's enjoying this segment. No, I'm actually not enjoying this segment. I'm fine bombing this right now. We're just waiting until we're just waiting for a rule to start.
Yeah.
So we're just throwing out a meaningless topic right now.
And if I sound more distracted than normal, it's because I'm only half listening to Connor.
Right.
Because I'm looking for Matt Rule, who I have found.
But
can't pause. Pause. There we go.
So he's ready?
Yes.
So he's talking right now. Excellent. Let's go out to Memorial Stadium and save you all from Major League Baseball talk. Here's Matt Rule.
Dynamic. He can run. We'll obviously see the quarterback draw and all the things that we've seen, so we'll have to be prepared to stop that. But it's also his ability to run behind the line of scrimmage when needed to and create plays. But an explosive player, one of the better quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
Week allow you to watch football and have anything come more into focus for you about what you have left in these next 8 opponents?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time recruiting, so I didn't get as much as I normally. I saw some high school games, but I think watching. I think the message I said to our players is, how does Alabama go from losing the first game to then they beat Georgia, and how does Florida State go from beating Alabama and then losing to Virginia, and how does Illinois go from giving up 63 points, being 63-10, to then turning around and beating USC? And I think it's there's way more parity in college football than ever before. And B, it comes down to your mindset. You know what I mean? And so are you locked in and focused? And whereas, outside the building, you might hear a lot of people say, well, this team's this team's that. You really never know which version of that team's going to show up. You can only control yourself. And so making sure that our guys have the best version of ourselves showing up. I believe last year, Michigan State coming off the bye, they came out and they beat Iowa in Iowa City, which is a hard thing to do. That's a good football team. So Jonathan Smith is an excellent coach. They'll have their team ready. We have to have our team ready. And I think that's the biggest thing. And you saw a lot more close games going down to the wire, coming down to one play. And so in a game where, our game came down to probably one play, not saying we're a play away, but came down to one play. Our guys have to make sure that they're ready to play. So every player can chase their one play and aggregate, 20, 30 better plays.
You mentioned last time you were there that you're looking for some resolution on some things like number 2 running back. Are you closer to that?
Yeah. I think we have a really good plan. We won't say anything until Saturday. You guys will see it, but I think we came out of the bye week feeling really good about a lot of guys in terms of where they're at. I thought the team got a lot better last week. So I think we have some clarity, and we'll have some things still go on this week, right? Some guys battle things out as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday. I think we feel good about kind of where we are.
How useful is the bye week for like a younger defensive line in particular to take a step back, see some things? And I guess you said you went on McAfee one-on-one some last week.
We went good on good. We wanted to get back to just playing football. And that's something I think most people do during the bye weeks, maybe the second bye week, you rest up a little bit, but we understand that we have to, we're one of the top teams in the country throwing the ball. We're one of the top teams in the country at pass defense. We are not there running the football. We are not there stopping the run. And obviously we talked about protecting setting the pocket. So there's areas that we need to get significantly better at. And I don't know how to get better at running the ball and stopping the run other than in practice. So we went good on good. We worked those things. We have a lot of D linemen getting a lot better. As I've said, I know it's just the football part of it. If, a lot of the runs aren't necessarily always on the D line. They're on everybody. It takes all 11 guys to run the football and stop the run. That being said, I think everyone, got better during the bye week and also had a chance to kind of catch their breath over the weekend. And they came back. They were ready to work last night. We're off today, and we'll get after it tomorrow.
What is the outlook for Malcolm Hartstad this week?
He's doubtful for this week. He's trying to come back. But I can't say that he'll be back this week. I mean, I can't rule him out, but I can't say he'll be back.
There was obviously, a lot of frustration after that loss from the players. Did you feel that that's been transitioned and fueled into focus this week?
Yeah, no one cares about your feelings. I was frustrated. They're frustrated. Play better. That's the message. Just play better, practice better. It's just no one's coming to rescue you. There's a lot of really good teams out there that are frustrated after a loss. I watched a lot of really good football teams on Saturday, and teams that were behind came back and won. Teams that were ahead lost. Teams lost on 2-point conversions. Teams lost on a field goal. I mean, it's just the new age of football. There's a lot more parity. You lose the game, correct it, move on. So we've tried to correct it. We've tried to move on. I think good teams never let a game beat them twice. So that can sometimes be hard to do, but there's no time to wallow in self-pity.
Michigan State's punters pinned 9 punts inside the 20. What's just been your message to your return unit this week?
Yeah, he's an NFL punter. I mean, it's impressive what he can do. We also have a really good punt return team, so they have an excellent punt team. We have an excellent punt return team. So, we'll have to make good decisions backed up. At the same time, we want Jacory to catch the ball and go try to make something happen. We're here to play football. Okay. So, we're going to try to win the game. We're going to try to play football. We're not going to just, fair catch everything. We're going to try to go make some plays. And so I trust Jacory, but it's really not Jacory. It's the 10 guys in front of him, that give him a chance. And, but the punter is excellent. They're their punt return team. They're number one in the country in punt returns too. So they've got excellent special teams, but we like our special teams too. And it should be a great battle.
You mentioned those passing numbers. Nebraska and Texas Tech are 1-2 in the country in passing yards per game. Would you have imagined 7-8 years ago and the offense that you and Joey put together at Baylor would have ever evolved to the point where that would be the case?
Well, I mean, we threw the ball pretty good there too. I mean, we threw the ball a lot there. Probably if you saw me at Temple, I was probably way more of an I formation guy there. I haven't had a chance to see Joey a ton. I had a chance to see like a few minutes of that game versus Utah, and then they were off this week. But I think we have an excellent quarterback room. I think we have great tight ends and receivers and who can get open so we've been kind of slinging around and guys been making some plays. I never thought I'd be me personally as a head coach, but part of this is as I evolve and you look at the stats that matter and you look at those things. I mean, we need to score points. We need to be explosive. We just have to add in a couple other elements we've talked about. We need to run the ball with a little more consistency, I shouldn't even say consistency, a little more explosive nature. And we just defend the pocket. We'll have a chance.
There are 13 teams in the Big Ten averaging 30 or more points. Is this a different league than it was even 2 years ago?
Well, I mean, I just know, when I first got here, I haven't followed the Big Ten West. This is certainly not the Big Ten West, right? But I watched the Penn State Oregon game. I know the score inflated at the end, but that was a once, a low score. It was 3-3 at the half, right? I watched Indiana, Iowa. Indiana setting all kinds of records. That was 10-10 for most of the game, right? Or 7-3. So, once you get the initial couple, hey, we played our, non-conference schedule, you get in the conference schedule. I mean, really most of the stats that we look at for our guys, we're looking at just in conference games, because that's where the competition starts to stiffen up and you're playing people that know you. I mean, one thing about being in a conference, here with us, with the schedule changes, but you start to play people year after year. You kind of know, hey, when we play these guys, they like to do this, and so conference statistics. But yeah, it's a widespread open league, and the teams that scored points last year went to the college football playoff, right? So I mean, we've done 1,000 studies, and you get really granular. Like you have to score points to get in there. And at the end of the day, it's still an eye test, right? And people are making decisions not based off the all 22, the one I'm watching. I look at that double team, they're making it off the TV copy. And so I mean, we're not trying to worry about what people think. I'm just saying in general, I think the whole world has evolved that way. I mean, you're not going to get many illegal men downfield in RPOs. You're not going to get many. It's built to score, and it's built to, sell trucks, I guess, in between the quarters, on commercials when people are watching it.
Coach, you guys have been home. It'll be 43 days between Maryland and Kansas City. I mean, how beneficial has this stretch just being at home? You're the only team in the Big Ten that opened with 2 straight conference home games, which is obviously rare too. How beneficial has that been for you guys?
I think it's been great. We haven't having to deal with they have the travel component of it, which is a big part of this league. We'll be dealing with it here soon. I think when you're faced with a league with so much travel, I mean, we can find the things that we love. Man, we got a chance to start off at home a bunch. We can find the things that we hate. We have 2 Friday games. I know they just announced Maryland's 3:30. We were hoping for 11 so we could get back. So we have two Saturday away games, and then coming back and playing a Friday game. So, I heard Coach Lanning talk about the other day about travel they have to do. We're facing teams coming off bye weeks a lot this year. But you know what? I mean, 18 teams spread out throughout the country, and someone's going to be upset about something. So I'll take the good with the bad. We'll play the game on Saturday, and after the game kicks off, none of that really matters. It really comes down to how you play. So, like I said, no one cares. Go play. But I think it's been great to be at home. I like playing in front of my wife and kids. You know what I mean? Like, I like playing in front of my neighbors. I like playing, like our players, like seeing our players after the game, and they got their girlfriends and their parents with them. I mean, some people obviously travel with us, but it's cool to be at home.
You said last week you don't really know about a freshman until they start playing. Are there some young guys that you'd like to see a little bit more of coming out of the bye?
Yeah, there definitely are. I'm not going to probably say too many things. I think I've talked about Mosey. We made him the kick returner last week. I think he's improving. I think Cortez has done an excellent job. He deserves reps. Quinn Clark is a redshirt freshman. He's done some really good things when he's out there. Defensively, Rex Guthrie, is a redshirt freshman. I think he's playing really good football when he's out there. So, but I think some guys last week had a chance to really refocus and have a really good week of practice, and so I'm hoping that they can carry that forward. So I think we're developing the next group of guys on our roster. There's some guys doing some things on special teams that are people probably don't notice, but Pierce Mooberry running down on kickoff, Derek Wacker, guys like that are doing excellent jobs.
What did you see from your offensive line last week, and what do you expect from that group going into this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's either they're a good group. They're a good offensive line, and they hit a bad day, and we didn't respond in the way. The interesting thing is I think we scored 17 of our points in the 2 minutes before the half. And obviously one was a Hail Mary, but you still have to block people on a Hail Mary. And then the last drive of the game, right? And so when it was crucial time and it was like, hey, they're going to drop back and pass, like we were able to do it then. So, we're all going to get punched in the face. Some people whine about it. Some people cover up. Some people swing back. And so there were times where we swung back, but we didn't swing back nearly enough. And so they know what they need to do. That's a group of guys that love this university and love the football team and give everything they have. But we're going to face another big, powerful unit on both sides of the ball. Michigan State's offensive line and defensive line are going to come in here and try to push us around. And we have to be ready for that. So we went against each other last week, but now we got to go against another opponent. And so it's time that we get punched in the face. We can't cover up. We got to come out swinging. I know they're going to come out swinging, so I'm expecting us to.
When you coordinators attack a bye, do they kind of attack it with we can ask them this tomorrow, the mindset of trying to fix what is already what maybe the mistakes are, or are they trying to maybe retweak and add some things for the stretch run?
I think all of the above. I think you're also looking at your opponent, right? A lot of times you have a bye and the other team doesn't have a bye. So, you're kind of waiting for the next game. But since we both had a bye, there's a lot more work to be done on your next opponent. But I think we're looking at ourselves and saying, okay, what are we doing well? What are we not doing well? And then all I ever ask our guys to do is, what are we doing well? What are we not doing well? Whatever we're not doing well, what's the plan to fix it? Is it to double down and do it better? Is it to tweak it, to change it? And I just ask the guys, are we doing the right things? Are the right people doing the right things? Way back when at Penn State, we were always told, the right defense with the wrong player is never as good as the wrong defense with the right player. And so defense to me is about like warriors getting off blocks, making tackles, knocking balls out, hitting quarterbacks, picking balls off. So that's, our guys on defense, they know they played a lot of really good plays against Michigan, and they let a couple plays get away from them. And that's, again, there's two different feelings, right? Like none of them are acceptable. But if you're sitting there and there's just like 6 yards, 7 yards, 6 yards, it's like, gosh, we can't stop them. This was stop, then boom, So if you look at our numbers, like our 20+ play percentage, like we're one of the better teams in the country. We're literally on defense. We're pretty much in the top 25 in every category that we pay attention to until you get to that run area. Then all of a sudden it's like, ugh. And it's big. It's explosive runs, but it's also 6+ runs, and it's all correctable. So I think we've been just looking at like, hey, are we doing the right things? Are we doing the right things with the right people? And, who do we have that we can also use? Not saying you're just going to change people out, but, let's bring some more people to the party if they're ready. So it was a good week, I think, for all that stuff. And then just to look at, Michigan State, they're a running football team. So again, they're an outside zone football team. All the things that have been giving us trouble, they do. It's a quarterback who can run, who can move. So it's not like it's any different. So we had to work a lot on that this week.
Last week you said you're going to look at both tackle spots. Did you get any clarity at those spots, and do you expect any changes going forward?
Yeah, you'll see it on Saturday. And I mean that respectfully. I don't want to start saying a lot of things about what's going to happen. But I thought last week, guys, we kind of clarified a little bit what we were going to do. And, I think after a game like that, you know exactly what you need to work on. And so I think each guy has improved last week. But I think we feel good about, hey, here's what we're going to go with.
This is a little more wide angle, but with a bigger staff around you this year, administratively and on the field, has it allowed you to pay more attention to things that you didn't have time for in the past, or just structure your week and season any different?
For the coaching staff, maybe it's bigger by like, well, I don't know how, maybe it's bigger. Maybe, I haven't noticed that, So, we have some young guys that, QCs that are, kind of do a lot of the computer work and stuff. But for the most part, the kind of the coaches are the coaches. Staff, I think it's really just been we've beefed up the personnel department, and I think that's allowed us to just be further ahead. You know what I mean? Like instead of just recruiting 26s and trying to get on 27s, now you're on 27s and 28s, and that allows me to focus on the people that we're really trying to recruit. I shouldn't be the frontline guy. I should be here, and so you have elite team, Pat Stewart's team, Keith and all those guys are doing a great job. So I think that's helped. But I think we have a bunch of people that all know what their job is. They're doing their job at a high level. They're working hard, whether it's travel, whether it's making sure we have guys at community service each week, academics. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, and I think they all work really hard. I think the biggest thing probably, Mitch, is that the first year, like it's me saying, hey, you do this. Why aren't you doing this? And then the second year, people kind of know it. And then the third year, like I don't even have to be in the building. I am. I don't have anything else to do, but I mean, I can just trust that. I can't overemphasize how good of a job Corey Campbell does downstairs, just bringing all those departments together. They meet, nutrition, sports science, psychology, strength, and athletic medicine meet every day, really, to go over the guys. And so, I'm grateful to him.
Hey, Matt, there was a call in the Oregon Penn State game late, the targeting call. There was a similar call in the Michigan Nebraska game. It seems like as fans, it's changed a little bit. Has it changed, or what's your read on the whole targeting becomes a runner, that type of deal?
Yeah, I think they're trying to call less. I mean, I think they're trying to. The penalty is so severe, right? I think they've really changed. I mean, obviously I think I watched one game. I think it was an ACC game, and they were screaming that he was defenseless, but he wasn't. So I mean, there's still a place for big hits in football. So if you hit with the crown of your head, then obviously we understand. And then they've changed what the crown is. It used to be this was the crown, but now it's not. Now so they've defined it. They've defined what defenseless is. You get your second step in the ground, you make a football move. I mean, it's that. And then I think they're quick to now say like, hey, if you touch him in the shoulder, I mean, you have to really lead and hit him in the head. So I like where it's headed. I think I can't the exact plays. I can't speak on an exact play, but just as I watch it, we remember before targeting was a foul, there used to be guys just getting absolutely like annihilated on the field. Guys would launch, and it was to stop that. And then it became every time someone got hit hard, everyone on the sidelines going flag, 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 flag. It's like, just go play football, right? Like, so I think it's gotten better. And I like. I mean, it's kind of like they talked at one point about like a flagrant 1 and a flagrant 2, like because the guy has to leave the game. That's quite a deal, right? In the NFL, they go back and they watch it on the tape, and if they think it was a malicious hit, they fine you. You can't really do that in college. But I like where targeting's at. I can't speak on those specific plays. I had 4 games going at once on the YouTube thing, so I don't know. I can remember every single play. I saw that play, but I don't know the other one.
I think William Flannery played more than 40 snaps against Michigan. How have you seen him just grow and develop in more of that every down type of guy?
Yeah, he's rugged. He's physical. He just goes like this every day. Right? He just gets better every week. Williams does, and he's been very focused. And he's got all the talent in the world. Just getting him to just improve every day, and he's doing that. So I've been pleased with William. Thanks.
Wow. It's over. It's over. Sorry, I was taking a nap.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I
was taking a nap. I thought
for sure we had another 15 minutes.
Had an alarm set for 12:10. I guess I cut the nap off early. Just kidding. We were listening to the press conference very intently. Matt Rule, handshake meme, Dutch Vanderlyn from Red Dead Redemption 2. Josh, you certainly know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, definitely. Big
I
red dead
have
head.
a plan. I just need money. Now, he didn't talk about needing money, but he did talk about how he has a plan, but he doesn't want to tell us his plan. He has a really good plan for running back 2 this weekend.
RB2.
He also has a really good plan for what's going to happen at left tackle or tackle in general. But I'm also not telling what the plan is. Also, some conversation about how this is not the Big Ten West anymore. Teams that scored points went to the college football playoff, he says. It's built to score, and it's built to sell trucks on the commercials. What is that supposed to mean?
He nailed it.
We're the Big Ten. We score points, and we sell trucks. Or we at least do truck commercials. Also, a lot of conversation mentioned a couple times. Do you think Matt Rule feels some type of way about playing a bunch of teams who are coming off of buys this year?
Yeah, just keeps coming up.
Yeah, interesting. Also, Malcolm Hartzog, doubtful for this week. I wonder if that goes much further. If they just pack it up on him, and redshirt and bring him back. There's a lot that would have to go into that, but I do wonder if that's going to be an option at some point. Headley writes in on YouTube.
Hi, Headley.
Plot twist, our starting tackles will be Corcoran and Teddy, and we will all lose our collective minds.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I'm very excited to see what the plan is. Curtis writes in on Twitter.
Hi, Curtis.
On the JTech Instructions on Twitter feed. He tweets at Happer Show. Rule going with the bleep your feelings message today. I wonder how much sulking his guys did after/during the game last week to get this from the headman today. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the question. It was like, how'd it go? Like that kind of thing. But maybe there was a little bit of that, feeling bad about yourself. Hey, nobody really cares. Just play better. Okay. About like nobody's coming to save you. That's what he said. Nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's going to come and all of a sudden it's going to make it really, really easy for you. No, like you're just going to have to. It's going to get harder. You're going to have to do the work and get better. So maybe there was a little bit of that this week. All right. From the text line, maybe Rule just has concepts of a plan. Maybe we're not telling anybody the plan, but we got a plan. Don't worry.
Also,
LLH writes in on YouTube.
Hi, LLH.
Poll question: does the Big Ten sell trucks?
Just hit send on it. It's up at Happer Show.
Please go vote at Happer Show right now.
Also, Maryland 2:30.
Yeah, he did sneak that in there, did he? Didn't he? So, okay. What were we? Let me go back to Nebraska's schedule here. Or let me, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull open. So that's going to be a CBS situation next weekend.
Big time?
Oh, yeah. I forgot that they were calling it big time.
That's what they call it. And
God,
you should too.
Did you see the aerial shots, though, this weekend from Ohio State and Washington?
I did.
So good. They got that drone cam figured out. So either that's a 2:30 CBS or a 2:30 Peacock.
Oh. back-to-back Nebraska Maryland's on Peacock.
So here's your other options. Rutgers Washington is a Friday night.
That's right.
That's
FS1
that weekend. Yes, and then likely big noon is Ohio State Illinois.
Now,
because Indiana Oregon can't be.
I agree with you on that. I will say I'm looking at ESPN and it says UCLA at Michigan State 11 a.m. It does not have a TV designation.
Oh yeah, that's BTN all the way, baby.
It sure feels like
BTN all the way or Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other games great games that weekend in the Big Ten.
Good slate.
You have Nebraska, Maryland. You might have, a couple teams with just one combined loss there. Ohio State, Illinois seems like a big noon situation.
It does.
Indiana, Oregon seems like either the night game on NBC.
Big Ten Saturday night.
But you also have Michigan visiting USC that weekend.
Oh, that's a sexy helmet matchup.
That's a big time helmet matchup. And you also have Iowa and Wisconsin that weekend, which is like a fun, Big Ten West. Yes.
Fun.
I will honestly, I'm a sicko. I will always watch Iowa, Wisconsin. I will always watch Iowa, Wisconsin. I think that's such a fun game. Because it's 12-10 every year. I will always watch Iowa, Wisconsin until I die, Josh.
Where are the fans? It's the second quarter.
Oh, where are the fans? Second quarter, Wisconsin. They must have given up on their team. So probably not CBS now that we look at the slate there. Tough. Look like we might be headed to Peacock that weekend.
This is hard.
Josh.
How do executives do this? This is hard.
Too many damn teams in this stupid conference. All right, we'll be back. The noon hour is coming up. I'm going to go through a couple numbers and figures. Nebraska is a pretty sizable favorite this upcoming weekend against Michigan State. We'll take a look at some of their history in that kind of category. A variety of other things. And, of course, we want to hear from you. We're wide open in the noon hour, so let us hear you. 402-951-1620. We're back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Ballast Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard is celebrating its 41st year of creating magical memories. Swing into fun on the new swing ride called Aunt Kelsey's Apple Swing. Take a drive on Fun Country Drive where the kids are the drivers. There are over 50 attractions included with admission such as Jan's Carousel, a barnyard challenge course, zip line, live performances, train rides, and more. Vala's open daily 9 to 9, September 5th through November 2nd.
At J-Tech Construction and Solar, they do it all. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and solar. As the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers, they take pride in protecting homes and powering the future. J-Tech is hiring. They're searching for motivated sales reps in Omaha and a front desk superstar to join the team. Great pay, uncapped commissions for sales reps, and a winning company culture. J-Tech Construction and Solar, proudly the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. YourExteriorExperts.com.
You can't run.
We've been waiting for you.
You can't hide.
Don't you want to play?
Because Scary Acres is back, and we're ready to make you scream. The Master's Castle, House on the Hill, and the Haunted Woods. Scary Acres, Omaha's ultimate haunted attractions. 172nd and Giles.
Open now. Sponsored in part by Spare Time, Raising Cane's, Hy-Vee, Stereo West, Gandalfo's, and Blend.
Are you prepared to face your fears?
Fall into savings and drive something new at Woodhouse Chevy. Whether you're tailgating, planning a fall road trip, or driving your daily commute, there's a vehicle in the Chevy lineup that's perfect for wherever the road takes you. From reliable trucks to spacious SUVs, you'll find a wide selection of inventory, plus special financing and limited time offers available now. Shop online anytime or stop by one of our 2 convenient locations in Omaha or Missouri Valley. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Get into Prairie Flower Casino and get in the game. Prairie Flower has hundreds of the hottest slot machines along with the PFC Sportsbook and your favorite live table games. Looking for a bite in the beverage? You'll love all our options, including Sky Bar and Grill with nonstop sports on our wall-to-wall TVs and the friendly service you know and love. Play longer, win more at Prairie Flower Casino, just minutes north of downtown Omaha. Must be 21. Please bet responsibly.
Husker coverage on 1620 The Zone is powered by Skradsky Heating and Cooling. Skradsky Heating and Cooling is locally and family owned. Visit heatomaha.com to find out about the Skradsky difference. And listen to 1620 The Zone for the best Husker coverage in Omaha.
It's time once again to follow your imagination at the Bellevue Berry and Pumpkin Ranch. Climb aboard a hayride and wander through a fall forest with spooky scenes, straight to the pumpkin patch where you can pick your pumpkin, priced by the size, not the pound. There's tons of fall fun on the farm this year. Kids can explore our pirate shipwreck and check out the giant slide, meet the animals down on the farm, climb, zip line, jump on the bounce pads, and more. And when the
He does it the only way he knows how. With his massive sports brain sprinkled with a smidgen of rabble-rousing. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Lunchtime kickoff times. Matt Rule, classic Matt Rule, leaking information to the media moments ago at his press conference saying it's going to start at 2:30. And guess what? Matt Rule's sources were right. They did not
care about an embargo.
They did not lead him astray because everybody knows, including Matt Rule, he knows when the TV times come out. He knows they come out at noon. He could have filibustered all the way until noon to be up there when the TV times came out, but he didn't. And he had to say it before he left. It's very interesting. He wants to tell people that he knows. And so we were able to really get to the bottom of it. Nebraska playing at 2:30 next Saturday against Maryland on the road. And then, yes, coming back home and then going back out on a short week to play Minnesota the Friday afterwards. That game will be seen on the Big Ten Network. So while it might look like from a record perspective, it's a sort of enticing matchup, and it is. You just have a busy weekend that weekend in the Big Ten. This is once again next week. Ohio State, Illinois is indeed big noon, as we thought. Indiana, Oregon is the game of the week in the Big Ten. That is your 2:30 CBS game. And the night game, as you said, Josh, sexy helmets, Michigan and USC.
You knew NBC couldn't stay away from those sexy helmets out west.
And Saturday night. And then Rutgers, Washington is Friday night. And the Peacock game. Oh, there is no Peacock game. There is no Peacock game.
Peacockless.
Unbelievable. We are without a Peacock.
Well, it's October. You can have 3 night games. It's fine.
Iowa, Wisconsin goes to FS1. Now, why are they? Is this baseball related? No, because baseball doesn't have any. There's no NBC baseball, right?
That is correct. No NBC baseball.
Why don't they have a Peacock game? They just fire the second crew. They said, "You guys stay home for the weekend." Wouldn't be a bad thing. Did you hear? So the Peacock crew this weekend was our boy, listener to the show every single day, Paul Burmeister, and you know who?
Hi, Paul.
You know who they replaced him with this year. They replaced Colt McCoy with this year, right?
No, I guess I don't.
Phil Simms. Disaster.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ugh.
Yep. Yep.
That's not what he wants
They
to be
got to
doing.
get a second crew over there.
He's a
Paul,
million years old.
Yeah, no. Phil Simms has done a Super Bowl. Multiple.
Phil Simms is 69 years
He's
old.
Not very good at it still either, for the record.
And he's doing rando games on Peacock.
With Paul Burmeister, our close personal friend.
Out of spite for Tony Romo?
I don't know. I don't know why. He got fired. He got canned. And yeah. Now he did Iowa and Indiana on Peacock last weekend, and it wasn't pretty. It was not very good. So on TV this weekend, your slate, big noon is going to be Wisconsin and Michigan. CBS 2:30 is going to be Penn State, UCLA. And then NBC night game is Minnesota, Ohio State. This is not as good of a week in the Big Ten. Nebraska and Michigan State get, of course, 3 o'clock on FS1. Illinois and Purdue this week, 11 o'clock on BTN. Washington, Maryland, kind of an interesting one, 2:30 on BTN. That game is in College Park. And Northwestern, for some reason, is relegated to out of conference this weekend. They play UL Monroe. That's right, Josh.
What?
Be surprised.
No, I'm legitimately shocked.
Sam writes,
are they in the SEC
on Twitter? No, they're in the Big Ten still. Do you guys remember how bad Sims got at the end of his CBS A-team days?
Yes.
I was reminded starkly on Saturday. It's like, oh yeah, I now remember how bad, because he'd kind of disappeared from my life and I was okay with it. I was like, wow, I don't really notice this, but he's gone. And then he came back and I'm like, whoa, rough, tough times. Also, never got Sam's opinions on ties last night.
I think he said he was just exhausted after it all.
It's a pretty mentally exhausting game. No doubt about that. All right, we got no Peacock. This weekend. Well, I guess unless you watch NBC on Peacock. And we got no Peacock next weekend for the Big Ten games either. I wonder when Peacock comes back. What?
2 weekends without a Peacock?
That's what it appeared. I don't know what's going on with the Peacock.
Is NBC abandoning Peacock?
I'm not sure. Maybe they just were like, this Phil Simms thing isn't really working.
We got the Olympics coming up. We need the bandwidth.
Yeah, something. All right. So Nebraska, Michigan State this weekend. Did some looking up. So I got a little bit of a tingle already this week.
You got a tingle?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a tingle.
Is it like your Jags tingle?
I'm ruminating. Josh always says that he's ruminating about things. So I was ruminating this weekend. I was watching some of these teams play crap defense in the Big Ten.
Did I say that?
No, other Josh.
Oh, okay.
And I was watching some of these schools be bad at defense. I've already seen Michigan State be bad at defense a couple times. And I'm thinking Nebraska, as was talked about a little bit today at the press conference, Nebraska is going to have to score some points here. And they're going to lean into the idea that they're going to score some points. Maybe that's a part of Matt Rule's plan that he is not telling us. But I'm thinking Nebraska's got a chance to score 40 points this weekend. That's my thought of the week. 40 points. And so then the lines came out, and I do want to make sure, because I saw it a couple different things in a couple different places.
Yeah, you got your hand in many books.
So Nebraska's a 10.5 point favorite on the FanDuel Sportsbook. As of right now. It's a double-digit favorite, Josh.
It is.
Are you prepared to have the type of trust and confidence in your team that Nebraska could take care of business in a game like this? Can they win a conference game by double figures? You're probably thinking, when have they ever done that?
I remember a game against Northwestern in which they won by double digits.
Let me run you through a brief history.
Connor, tell me that's not the last time this happened.
Here are the games in which Nebraska has scored 40 points in conference since 2015.
Oh, okay.
All right. This is Riley era and beyond, the groin kick era, right? 40 plus points in conference. First of all, how many times do you think they've done it? They've played 89 conference games since the start.
I don't know, 6.
7.
Hey,
good job, Josh.
6, 7.
Dude, we gotta talk about this. All right, so I'm doing the volleyball game on Saturday, and there's 60 kids who are singing the national anthem. 60 children.
Okay,
it's a choir group. They're singing the national anthem, and they're all in the tunnel. And they're very excited about everything they see. They're screaming and they love everything. The players come out of the tunnel. They high five them. They're just having the time of their lives. And they're getting ready to sing the national anthem. And so they're all getting ready to go, sitting in the tunnel. And here comes Billy the Blue Jay. And Billy the Blue Jay goes up in front of all of them and goes like this. Starts going like this.
You're doing for the radio podcast audience, you're doing I would call that a juggling motion.
Yes. And the kids, they lost their minds. They all go 6'7", 6'7", and I go, Billy, what is this? What are you doing? And he, of course, can't talk because he's a mascot, but it's very confusing. Very.
I didn't know there was a hand motion.
That's what that means. That's what that. Yeah. I don't know what any of it means. I feel so far out of the loop on the 6'7" thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for mentioning that because that was a great part of my weekend.
Happy to do so.
6 or 7, but really just 7 times since 2015, Nebraska scored 40 or more points in a conference game. Here are the games. Last year's Wisconsin game, the 2021 Northwestern game.
Hey, that's the one I remember.
Yep. So they had done it once since then. 2019 Maryland, 2019 Illinois, 2018 Illinois, 2018 Minnesota, and 2015 Minnesota. What are you whispering? Minnesota, a couple different times. Yeah. That's back when Nebraska kind of beat Minnesota. They don't do that much anymore.
No, they should go back to doing that.
I agree. And then I also have a list of games in which they, in conference, that they have won by 10 or more. You're 10.5 point favorites. It is the expectation that you win by 10 or more this weekend. Actually, 11 or more for being realistic about the number, right? 11.
Mm-hmm.
That is your expectation. Here's a list of games that Nebraska has won by 10 or more in conference since 2015. Once again, 89 conference games. Josh, I'll give you a hack at this again. How many times do you think they've done it?
5.
I was surprised to find that they had done it more than you would think. So it is quite a lot more than 5.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
89 conference games. 18 times.
Whoa.
18 times they've won by 10 or more.
Anecdotally, it does not feel like that, right?
That's right, Josh.
Okay.
It's a great point.
Thank you.
It's a great point because we all feel so horrible about everything all the time. They've won 18 conference games by 10 or more points since 2015. That's about 20% of their overall games.
Okay.
In conference. 24 Wisconsin, 24 Purdue, 23 Purdue, 23 Illinois. By the way, let me know when you see the trend here. 22 Indiana, 21 Northwestern, 20 Purdue, 19 Maryland, 18 Illinois, Minnesota, 17 Illinois, Rutgers, 16 Maryland, Purdue, Illinois, Northwestern, and 15 Rutgers, Minnesota.
They beat up on the bad teams.
That's right.
Is that the trend?
They've beat Purdue by 10 or more 4 times. They've beat Illinois by 10 or more 4 times. Northwestern twice, Minnesota twice, Rutgers twice, Maryland twice, and then 1 each for Indiana and Wisconsin over that period of time. For comparison, while we're at it, how many times do you think they've lost by 10 or more?
Whoa.
In the 89 games in conference. So remember, 18 wins by 10 plus. How many losses by 10 plus?
15.
20.
Okay.
But think about that. As bad as you think Nebraska football has sucked, and I'm not trying to convince you that it's been any better than what you've thought it's been.
I wouldn't say suck.
But when they, there's a lot of these years they basically just go 3-6 in the league, right? They go 3-6 in the league, but oftentimes they're 1 or 2 of those wins are by double digits, and oftentimes only 1 or 2, if any, of the losses are by double digits, right? What's their thing, Josh? Their bit. They lose close games.
That's right.
So 20
people forget.
20 times they've lost by 10 or more during that period of time. That accounts for about 22% of their conference games overall. Should we go down memory lane and tell you all of these games also, just for fun? Thank you, Josh.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah, let's do it.
24 Indiana, 23 Michigan,
John 6,
22 Illinois, Michigan, 20 Ohio State, Illinois. Now, the notable thing about that 20 Illinois game was they were 16.5 point favorites.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, yes, you do, Josh.
Okay.
That was a bad time.
It sounds bad.
Oh, it was really bad.
Especially if what you're saying is true, which I believe it is.
They were COVID. It was COVID times. It was the worst of times. And first play of the game, Nebraska threw a swing pass from Luke McCaffrey and fumbled. And they wore black uniforms, I think. And this was the game where Illinois did a fake punt and their punter just walked 20 yards for a first down.
I remember that.
This is one of the worst watching experiences I've ever had of a Nebraska football game. They were 2 touchdown favorites and lost by 2 touchdowns. Bad times. 19, Ohio State, Minnesota, Wisconsin. 18, Michigan, Purdue, Wisconsin. 17, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Minnesota, Penn State, Iowa. 16, Ohio State, Iowa. 15, Purdue. Those are the 20 games which Nebraska's lost by 10 or more points. So, yes, they have more frequently lost by 10 or more points than won by 10 or more points, but it's not as uneven of a spread as you might think. But now that you have the history, now that you have the information, are you prepared to believe? Or are you just in the mindset as we set the tone for the week here? Are you just of the mindset of like, yeah, I don't really care, just win the game? I mean, obviously, you could have expectations going into the game, and then they win. It's just like, okay, they won. Let's just move on to the next one. I think that's probably what we'll hear and feel when they do it. But like, you know, Nebraska is going to be probably they're going to be double-digit favorites here. They'll probably be around, even on the road, they'll probably be in the neighborhood of a touchdown favorite at Maryland, depending on what happens this weekend. They're probably going to be in the neighborhood of 5 to 7-ish against Minnesota. Maybe not quite that high. And then the rest of their home games, you know,
they'll be double-digit favorite against Northwestern.
They'll be double-digit favorite against Northwestern. They'll be probably a double-digit favorite against UCLA on the road.
Yeah.
And they'll probably be a slight favorite at home against USC. And then there's Iowa, which too early to tell maybe. We'll see. But my guess would be slight favorite at this point in time. So get used to it. That's what I'm saying. Get used to it. There's going to be some games where Nebraska is expected to win. They're expected to take care of business. And like it or not, this is like how the perception wheel works, right? If it says that Nebraska is supposed to beat Michigan State by 10 points, then they better do it. Otherwise, if they win by 1, people are going to be like, ooh, they just won by 1. You know, it's kind of one of those things. Now, I don't know how big of a shame it is to only beat Michigan State by a point. But I'm telling you that this is the perception and this is the expectation of what Nebraska is supposed to do. I was surprised to see the number, frankly. You know,
that's a big number.
I think it's a little heavy. Now we'll see if it gets bought down throughout the week and what happens. But the point is, I mean, Michigan State's defense isn't very good. Nebraska is going to be expected to score some points. Their metrics rank pretty high offensively. I think this is going to be a points-filled game, and absolutely, there's a way where Nebraska wins this thing by 10 plus. The question that I have for you all is, do you have the ability to trust them to do so?
Michigan State is 2 for 2 against Power 4 teams. Each time they've played a Power 4 team this year, they've given up 40 points.
Yeah. One of them was against Boston College.
That's right. Now, granted, that was double overtime, but whatever. Their defense is porous. Like, it doesn't take
it's bad.
Doesn't take a sharp football mind to know that.
What happened to them against USC? I mean, USC's offense is pretty good.
Yeah.
Although I'm still not the biggest Jade Mayava fan. Just I want to put that on the record still.
They move the football. Like, I agree that he's not great.
Lemon, their wide receiver, that's probably the best non-Jeremiah Smith guy in the Big Ten.
Bleep their running back too, but regardless.
Bleep him?
Yeah.
Why?
He scored touchdowns against Iowa Western. I don't like that guy.
Bleep him? Mm-hmm. Did you see what USC's running back from last year did in the NFL yesterday? He was going ham. Woody Marks.
No.
Woody Marks going ham.
Woody.
Yeah, Woody. Remember him?
But I still don't trust Nebraska to win by 10 and score 40 points, but
I don't think they have to score 40. I'm just saying I'm on 40 watch.
I don't need them. Just win the game. I'm
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Now I'd like them to do the thing they're supposed to do, and everybody in our chat, like it's not a dumpster fire today, but all last week it was a
Dumpster fire.
snake oil salesman.
You would like everybody to shove it? Is that what you're saying?
A little,
Yeah.
because I think this team is improved.
Whether you like it or not, the goalposts will certainly move.
Sure.
No matter what. You know,
If-
if Nebraska takes care of business, it'll be like, yeah, okay, go ahead and do it against USC. You know, we'll
Yeah.
talk to you then.
It'll be
And
Michigan.
there's nothing you can do to make those people happy in the interim.
Yep. It'll be Michigan State wasn't that good if they win big, and if they don't win big, it'll be wow.
Yeah.
You could barely beat Michigan State at
But-
home.
but
How good are you?
I do think it is a step for this program to not only win a game like this, but also to take care of business. I'm not talking and taking care of business to me this week is not just winning by one. You know, Matt Rule would certainly disagree with me on that, but I do think, you know, there's a perception line that meets you there somewhere, and you have to taking care of business is a little bit more than just skating by this week. If Nebraska wants to prove that they're one of the best teams in the middle of this conference, which is very open, we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. Very open, very soft, pillowy middle of the Big Ten right now. Nebraska has an opportunity to stake their claim toward the top of it at the moment, even with the loss that they've taken to Michigan. And if they are one of those teams, then taking care of business is a win by what you're supposed to win by.
TCB.
Sam writes in on Twitter.
Sam
checked in with him on the Packers game last night, and we were talking about 40-point scores. Sam writes, although sometimes 40 points is not enough to win. Historically, it has been for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, but 40 is only enough to tie. For the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys last night. Oh, it's like kissing your sister.
That game was fun as hell to watch.
It was great. I enjoyed it all the way to the end.
Even as I was pretty sure Matt LaFleur didn't want to win or tie that game.
No. He almost ran out of time.
He almost, if that ball bounces a different way, literally.
At a certain point, like as the clock gets to like 8 seconds and you're still getting ready, if you're Jordan Love, just like let it go 2 more seconds and spike it.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do that.
I don't know how he had the internal clock to go. Now it's a football player in the NFL.
Go.
He's the most confident guy in the world. Yeah, I can get this done in 6 seconds.
It takes 4 seconds to like call for the snap and then eventually get the snap. You know what I mean? And then the play hasn't even started by then. The guy got all the way down to the end zone. Oh, that would have been hilarious. In the same building where Mac Brown once said that there was 1 second. People forget about that. Also, I was really, really hoping for fireworks on the Jerry Jones. They were like, you know, Football Night in America's on. Here's Maria Taylor and Jason Garrett. And they're like, hey, we're back from break. We're actually not going to send you over to Jack Collinsworth or whatever the hell he's doing over on the sideline.
Thank God.
We are here with Jerry Jones. He has decided to join us on live television. And I said, Jerry, you've looked better. But I couldn't wait.
He's thick now.
He's big boy. He was a big boy.
He was always like not a good looking old guy. Always looked like Skeletor, but like at least he was thin. Like now he's like, ooh,
big,
puffy.
Big boy.
Hey, didn't I fire you, Jason? What are you doing here?
Yeah. And they were like, I appreciate you, you know. I think we can go to the Super Bowl. I think we have enough to go to the Super Bowl. Oh, pretty great. Pretty great stuff. Okay. We'll talk about that nice, pillowy, soft middle of the Big Ten when we return. I also do have one thing to say about NFL overtime during the show today.
Okay.
So we will get, it won't be like, oh, overtime's like kissing your sister. No, it won't be like that. But
Jerry Jones does want to know what his sister tastes like.
Yikes.
That was a weird quote.
Yikes. First, let's remind you, or at least maybe tell you for the first time, that did you know the Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball Championship is coming to Omaha? That's right. October 3rd to the 13th at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. And we here at 1620 The Zone have your chance to get into the game on October 12th for free. Head to 1620thezone.com right now to get registered to win tickets. That's, once again, the Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball Championship on October 12th at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. 1620thezone.com to win now. Josh, you love when sports and entertainment collide. And so the Super Bowl halftime show is like a big.
This is two things I like: sports and entertainment.
Yeah,
I love sports entertainment. I love.
Josh started getting
sports.
excited for Bad Bunny and looked up Bad Bunny in our system and found Me Porto Bonito.
Is this the one? Is this the one the kids are?
I don't think
It
so.
doesn't feel like a lot of the other Bad Bunny songs. It feels like I might have picked the
Ooh,
ballad.
hold up. I like it. This is going to be great. I'm going to really enjoy the Super Bowl halftime show because you could just do this the entire time.
Yeah. He's a showman.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to host the season premiere of SNL.
A lot of, you know, what's the bite the lips, the white guy thing. It's going to be like that. A lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing that in the Super Bowl halftime show. When who is playing who? It could be anybody. It ain't the Ravens.
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
Feels pretty.
I picked the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
I don't see that one. I don't know. I'm not going to overreact. I'm not an overreactor, Josh.
Famously,
I'm not an overreactor.
you hang on to quarterbacks longer than you need to.
I do.
The Ravens aren't even holding on to Lamar Jackson.
Well, he's got a hamstring problem.
Does he?
Josh, you think they just benched him for nothing?
He had a towel on his.
They only do that to people like JJ McCarthy.
There was some weird tweet where they're like, "Does he even have an injured hamstring? He's got a Gatorade towel on
give
his
me a
arm."
break.
I was like, "What is this? What are we doing?"
So, Mitch and I actually talked about this morning. Like,
Oh, wow.
I don't overreact to anything. In like, this is probably why I'm like awful at my job because I don't have like these super duper hot takes.
That's the reason.
And so whatever stuff happens in the Big Ten, I'm like, I'm basically Mike Farron. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. I mean, you know, a little too early to tell, probably.
I don't know, Mike. The playoffs start this week.
Pretty early to tell. Yeah, but then you get to the playoffs and the complete and in baseball,
They really are
it
different.
just completely changes and nothing matters anymore.
Also, everything matters a million times more.
Yes, but anyone could do the thing that mattered more for one day.
Mhm.
By the way, before we get to the Big Ten, I do want to remind you that 4-quarter pick'em is open for the week.
It's back.
Now, if you are registered for 1620, the email,
You're good.
you're good.
You already got your list of games this week. You're picking them.
And if you're not registered for 1620, the email, you don't get it till tomorrow morning, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you're going to want to get on that. I believe, I'm told, I know some people who are involved with the selection of the games.
Oh.
There's going to be a week at some point this season, maybe soon, that each of the games you will be selecting will have obvious winners.
Oh.
Therefore, it becomes even more important that you get in on 1620, the email, and make your picks first.
Wow.
What an interesting idea, isn't it?
Those guys really put some thought into this. Wow.
Just an idea. Just an idea.
I can barely dress myself in the morning, and they're here. I mean, look at me. I'm wearing, and they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
look,
backwards hat." People are saying that backwards hat Josh is edgy.
it's the character, man. You spin this hat around, you don't know what's going to come out of this mouth."
All right, and we'll find the winners from last week today, and hopefully you are registered for 1620, the email, and you got your picks in already, and you've forgotten about it for 4-quarter pick'em for this week. I look at the Big Ten, Josh.
Yeah, what do you see?
Try not to overreact, but I see a nice, pillowy, soft middle.
Would you call it mushy?
I would call it mushy.
Okay.
I would call it the mushy middle.
There you go.
So you're going to have to be at least 10-2 to give yourselves an opportunity to be that fourth college football playoff team.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
If your takeaway from over the weekend from the Penn State Oregon thing was like, well, this doesn't actually matter because both teams are going to make the playoff anyway, you're probably right. I can't really argue with you. I don't think Penn State, Oregon, or Ohio State are going to lose to anybody outside of their own group.
That triumvirate?
Yes. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe Indiana can give Oregon a run next week. We'll see. Indiana they have the inside track right now to that spot. They really had to lose to Iowa in order for them to be in danger of of going less than 10-2 because they go to Oregon and they go to Penn State a little bit later on. A 10-2 Indiana this year with losses to Oregon and Penn State is probably looked at more favorably. Actually, I would say definitely looked at more favorably than 2024 Indiana, who went 11-1, only lost to Ohio State, and obviously still made the playoff. But this 10-2 team, obviously, it had more cachet going into the season. We've seen it a little bit more, and if they're able to win one of those games, then it completely changes. But even at 10-2, Indiana is probably the likely selection there. But other teams can put themselves in the running. Illinois, nice little win over the weekend, getting back off the schneid against after getting smashed by Indiana. USC still probably going to be in that conversation. Washington hung around with Ohio State for a while. Nebraska, I think, is in that conversation. Michigan is in that conversation. Minnesota, question mark. I look around at all these teams, and I think this is my one big takeaway from the weekend. And Matt Rule almost said it. He wanted to say it, but he didn't say it. I look around at all those teams, and I'm like, oh, these teams all have problems. These teams all have problems. So we're going to go into each of these weeks, and Nebraska plays. They play USC on their schedule still. They already played Michigan. They play. I guess that's it for the meet. They play Iowa, who I think you'd have to include them as part of this deal right now. Although they're not they're not a playoff contender really anymore, but they're still in the meaty middle. And I think there's a couple teams that are coming up over the next few weeks that are trying to get there. Maryland, maybe you could include them in the conversation as well. But I look at all of them and I say, well, I don't think these teams are complete. And so they can be taken advantage of in a variety of different categories. But more importantly, each of these teams has to identify what they do well and accentuate it in order to sort of rise to the top. Now, there's also the schedule piece of this, which is really, really important. That's the reason why people picked Illinois to go to the playoff this year, because their schedule was light. Nebraska, they have a schedule to do it as well. Michigan, outside of the game against Ohio State, probably has a schedule to do it as well. But each of these teams has holes. Like, think about it. I think Illinois is I don't know if they're as good as they were last year, especially at the end of the year. USC's defense is bad.
It's bad.
Nebraska, when people look at Nebraska, what do they say? I don't know. Right now, they might say their defense can't stop the run. Right? They'll look at Michigan and they'll say, oh, well, Michigan's one-dimensional. True. Washington. What will they say about Washington? Tough to tell.
Can't win the games against that top tier.
Well, I mean, but nobody, yeah. I don't think, like I said, I don't expect anybody in this group to beat any of the top three. I just think there's a real clear separation between those teams right now. Now, if one of them does, like say if Nebraska was to beat a Penn State or something like that, or Washington plays Oregon obviously later, and I'm sure that there's Indiana and Oregon coming up next weekend. But if any team is to jump up, I think I'd be pretty surprised at this point. So we're dealing with these teams who are sort of living in their own bubble, and I just think they all have problems. I'm not trying to make this into a thing where like, oh, I believe in Nebraska more because I've seen other teams' issues, but I do think sometimes we get caught up in our own bubble a little bit. We say, well, Nebraska can't stop the run. How are they supposed to win any games? We got a bunch of emails last week, and it was like, well, Nebraska doesn't have any offensive line, and so I think they're probably going to go 4-8. Like, this thing is just
lucky to make a bowl game.
How are they supposed to do anything? Well, other teams are thinking that about themselves too. I think that's a really important thing to note. And I watch those teams play, and I'm like, this is not anything special. Nebraska could be right in there in that category as well. And I know people want to be better than that, but frankly, that's the neighborhood that Nebraska lives in right now. So do I think they can be in the mix for the top of this group? Once again, we're talking about Illinois, USC, Washington, Michigan, Minnesota, Maryland, teams like that. Do I think Nebraska could end up being, and then Indiana, obviously, as well. Do I think Nebraska could end up being basically the same as all of those teams? Yeah, I do. And I thought that prior to last week, but now I definitely think it after this past weekend.
Also, just quick point of reference. Ohio State is averaging 5.5 points allowed a game.
Yeah, their defense is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sold on the quarterback and their offense yet, but
yeah, I can't tell if they still have the training wheels on him or if he's
a little
not
bit
great.
Now, I think they have the training wheels on him because
that's
they
where I would lie
can.
as well.
They can,
Yeah.
And then they also, it's helpful when you have Jeremiah Smith as well.
Yes,
offensively. All right, let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back. A bunch of different stuff that I'd like to get into. I would like to comment on the NFL overtime quickly. Also, is the Ryder Cup the new Waste Management Open?
A question I had not considered.
People are wondering. Sam McKewon will join us at the top of the hour. There is so much more to come here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, a word from our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Now is the absolute perfect time to get in on some of this Underdog action. You can make picks and win money right now in the state of Nebraska. It's easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You could even look at the Underdog app like I'm doing right now. So look at some games tonight. How about J.K. Dobbins for Denver? Higher or lower than 64.5 rushing yards for tonight. That's just one of many, many options for you on the popular picks tab. There's also tabs for each sport. So get in there, get busy right now, and who knows? You could be one of the many who's won on Underdog. Download the app today, sign up using promo code HAPPER1620, and score $100 in bonus bets when you play your first $5. Promo code HAPPER1620. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Also, Josh, did you know that hockey is making its way to the Durham Museum? You actually probably did.
I did. I'm a member.
Yes. And
who also has a hockey fan as a son.
There you go. It's called the Hockey Faster Than Ever exhibit. Goes from this Saturday, the 4th, until January 11th, taking you inside the game like never before. There's hands-on challenges. You can embark on hockey's rich history and get involved with a variety of different things going on at the Durham. We'll have tickets for your chance to win one-day family passes to the Durham this week.
Whoa.
On the Connor Happer Show. Also, if you want more details on hockey faster than ever, you can find it on our website, 1620thezone.com. I asked Josh a question during the break because Hollywood actor Glenn Powell is on Pat McAfee's show today.
That's what it says.
Hollywood actor Glenn, he's doing Chad Powers, which is a movie.
It's a TV show if you want to get technical.
It was a bit that involved Eli Manning and now doesn't.
He told the story on that episode of Kimmel that a lot of people watch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had this thing and they asked me if I wanted to buy the rights. And I said, yes, why not? Like, he didn't even really try to dress it up as anything other than, hey, they thought you'd be good in this. And do you want to buy it?
So has the Glenn Powell thing, like, has the Glenn Powell moment happened yet? Because I felt like we were embarking on a Glenn Powell moment after Top Gun 2. And I don't know that it's happened yet. Do you think it's going how Glenn Powell imagined it was going to go?
You made me realize that it's probably a slower climb than...
Are we still waiting for the impending Glenn Powell moment? Is that still coming?
My guess is it's coming because... I mean, look at him.
He's a hot guy.
He is. I think he's going to slide very nicely into that Chris Pratt slot where, hey, you can put me in your movie and it'll make $200 million because people want to see me on the biggest screen possible.
But that hasn't happened yet.
That has not happened yet.
Otherwise, I might be excited about Chad Powers, but I'm not.
I am not excited about Chad Powers.
Just wanted to make that very
It's
clear.
only 6 episodes, but that sounds like a lot.
I remember they stopped college football games last year to record scenes from this Chad Powers show. So
I'm looking at his IMDb. There's something involving the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that he'll be a part of.
Okay, could be something.
Ron Howard untitled firefighter film project. Oh,
it could be a big one.
That feels big. Untitled Glenn Powell Judd Apatow Universal project.
Okay, hang on. I could see that.
That's
a good role for him.
Is there another lead in that? Maybe.
Or not a good, I mean, I don't know what the role is, but that seems like he could be in a Judd Apatow show.
Glenn Powell is listed as a co-writer on that movie. Interesting.
These guys got a lot of stuff going on. These Hollywood actors, Josh.
Hollywood actors. No other co-star in that firefighter film.
They'll find somebody.
Yeah, I feel like it's coming.
Still coming.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll wait. We will wait.
Also, The Running Man.
That's right. Weird times.
Very.
All right. So I'm not, just to repeat, I'm not going to do a segment today about how ties are un-American and they should be banned. And it's like kissing your sister. I'm not doing that segment. Because I actually found, Josh and I, we talked about this throughout the show today. I found myself very, I don't know if satisfied is the right word, but I very much enjoyed the football game last night. And
it was thrilling. There were how many scores after the 2-minute warning?
It was secondary that it ended in a tie. Dak Prescott was awesome. Jordan Love almost took too much time,
Now, if both teams had scored quickly and we were kind of pittering around for the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game, it would not have been as fun.
Okay, so based on timing, I have a question for you. Why did we shorten the overtime period?
So it was for
player safety.
Player safety.
But like
quote unquote.
Player safety only from the perspective of we're going to have 5 minutes less possible of a game.
Yeah.
That's already like
70 versus 75. What are we doing?
Also, it's, most of the initiatives in baseball for like making games faster or pace of play and like holding interest for people. And there is a certain point where football games get a little bit too long, but like we also don't need to cut off the parts of the game that are the most exciting to people.
Right.
Which are almost sudden death overtime periods in the NFL, modified sudden death, whatever you'd like to call whatever the NFL's overtime period is. It felt a little bit rushed. We may have gotten the same result either way, just in a slower way. So I guess I understand it from that perspective. But I always have wondered why did we do that? Why did we take it from a full 15-minute period to a 10-minute period for no reason other than, like you said, hiding behind the guise of like player safety?
Why does the NFL change the rules for overtime
I don't know.
every year?
Why do they change all the rules like to make gimmicky everything?
The coaches and the players did a fine job with overtime last night, but there were real ball knowers on Twitter last night who were like, wait, when did both teams get a possession in overtime?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People didn't remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a thing since Josh Allen.
Yeah, the Josh Allen rule.
Yeah. Which that's fine. I mean, that's
Go Josh Allen.
Go Josh Allen indeed. Go Josh Allen. But yes. So I mean, I just don't understand why it has to be shorter. Like I said, we might
I think it
end
could
up getting the same result.
Yeah, I think we might have gotten the same result, but
probably end up getting the same result either way. But I mean, I guess Josh, to the point of the extra possession, they would have gotten that possession anyway because it was a field goal.
Yeah.
Now, when did they do away with that? The sudden death field goal on the first possession. That was many years ago now, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, they've changed it quite a bit.
Every time there's a big game that goes overtime and somebody has a sad loser on the sideline shot, they're like, well, we got to change the rules so that guy doesn't look sad on the sidelines anymore.
That is what we do every single time. And then actually, I don't know if it's happened yet. I haven't been exactly because I fell asleep immediately after the game ended last night because it was a late one. Or I went to bed. So I didn't look at any of the quotes or anything like that. But was there the thing that we get after every overtime game in the NFL where some guy on one of the teams was like, I actually didn't know that we could tie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I saw Jerry Jones. Somebody asked him, hey, Jerry, how was that tie? Was it like kissing your sister? And he said,
oh, no.
I've never kissed my sister. What does she taste like?
What a weird response. He said that?
Weird thing to say.
Are you sure he said that, or was that like AI, Jera?
Okay, now that's a great question because how would I know the difference unless...
Well, just...
Even if I saw a video of him saying it, I would still go...
All right, Josh. I have to check on this. Jerry Jones kissing sister quote. I don't think he said that. Jerry Jones has a wild answer.
Number 6 will shock you.
Oh no, there is a video.
Okay. That's good.
A reporter asked Jerry Jones if the tie was like kissing his sister. He said, quote, I don't know. How does it taste? All right.
Headley with a good quote.
Oh, somebody asked Dak that too.
Oh,
and he was walking by.
How does Dak's sister?
And he said, good thing I ain't got one.
He was great last night.
Dak was awesome. Let's give Dak his flowers.
Yeah.
Nice job, Dak. No CD and just all Dak.
And former Iowa Western Reaver Ryan Flanoy. That's not the way we were told to pronounce it.
Josh is always here for the Iowa Western honking.
Honk, honk.
The Iowa Western propaganda.
That's right. I'm just saying it's a program that churns out a lot of NFLers, and you should probably pay attention to it.
Stibbs writes in.
Hi, Stibbs.
The very first game, Nance explained all the rules about how teams will get a chance, barring a touchdown, and then Tebow threw a 75-yard touchdown pass to Marius Thomas to win the game. That was the very first overtime rules are changed game. So what is it, that was that 2011, right? Where you can't just straight up kick a field goal anymore, and then Tebow just threw a 75-yard touchdown pass anyway.
Well, I guess if I got to if I got to score a touchdown, I'll just do it now. Imagine
ties are fine, guys. Like, I don't know why it pisses you guys off so much.
Imagine not trying to score a touchdown in overtime and just being okay with kicking a field goal.
How many ties do you think James Franklin would have over the years if he was an NFL coach?
Oh, wow. He'd be like one of those old school coaches who had he's amassed a record of 150, 22, and 37.
Yeah, he's had like 14 ties in his career just because he loves it. It sounds like a real thing that he would do.
Which coach had the most ties?
Is it Jeff Fisher?
In NFL history, George Halas holds the record for most career ties with 31.
George Halas.
In college football,
Halas Hall.
Dan McGugan has the most.
I don't know
ties.
about Dan McGugan.
Might be McGugan.
Is the Ryder Cup the new Waste Management Open?
This is a great question. I hadn't considered this.
Did you see all the debauchery? Did you see the Americans?
I heard
Rory got mad.
I heard there was hooting and hollering.
There was. It maybe extensive hooting and hollering.
Oh,
Josh.
wow.
Maybe too much.
Is that not what the event? I mean, the golfers.
But it crosses a certain line at some point when you go from hooting and hollering for your guys to hooting and hollering against the other guys.
What? Okay, golfers are soft as bleep.
Yes, we know that.
I mean, you don't talk to anyone, and when you do, you're just complaining.
That's Rory. That's just Rory.
I thought you loved America. This is America, Rory.
I love America, Josh.
Great take by you, Colin.
But I don't think I believe in decorum. Like I said, I don't think every golf tournament, just because you're allowed to yell and scream at the Ryder Cup and like it's encouraged and the guys are like fist bumping and screaming like gutturally across the entire course. I don't think that should be an excuse to turn it into like a drunk fest. You know?
So, okay.
I want to be careful with this because I don't want to be like the anti-booze guy. But like I see the Waste Management Open, I'm like, this is not right. This is not right.
Could I present a theory that, I don't know, maybe the Americans' poor play forced the people who had Sunday tickets to this event to be like, well, we're not going to enjoy the golf. Let's just get hammered. And then.
But they were like throwing stuff at him.
Okay, you can't throw stuff. I have no idea what happened. It was out of hand, so I stopped paying attention.
Rory turned around. Yeah, it wasn't just Rory turning around and saying, hey, guys, shut the bleep up. It was like they were getting stuff thrown at them.
That's past the line.
Right.
I didn't know that.
That's what Mustache Adam says. That's what's happening. Rory wasn't being soft. His wife got a drink thrown at her. It was over the top.
Where's the security?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. There's no security at these events. Like, what are they supposed to do? The entire crowd is only there to do debauchery. Like, it's the Ryder Cup, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be like you got to
familiar.
love the shield type of guy, but I'm just saying the Ryder Cup and the Waste Management Open should be two completely different things. You do all the drunk stuff that you want in Phoenix. It's a lawless society in Phoenix. And if you're willing to pay the price of going to Maricopa County tent jail afterwards, then that's your prerogative.
Okay.
But not at the Ryder Cup.
The Ryder Cup.
Not at the Ryder Cup.
Kenneth, this is golf, people. Go back to your shanties.
Thank you.
You're Shooter McGavin.
Thank you. I am Shooter McGavin. I believe in decorum. Travis says golf bros have ruined golf.
So
there's a lot of golf bros.
Now that's a great take from a great man. It's hard for me to go, hey, we the golfers can be hooting and hollering. This is the event where we show emotion and passion, but y'all can't. Now, yes, you should not be throwing drinks at the participants.
They're not
and
saying
their
that
wives.
they can't. There's a line.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to have been crossed.
There's a disconnect.
Texter from the 531 says there is security. The State Patrol was kicking people out all weekend.
Good. Maybe they should have kicked more people.
There you go. So you're for decorum as well, Josh.
Yeah, I'm for not throwing drinks at.
There you go.
The
Backwards
reacquainted Ms. McElroy.
I am interested that backwards hat Josh is like, yeah, whatever,
Throw a drink at her. Rory probably wanted to at some point. Isn't this the woman that he was?
I don't know.
They separated.
I don't know.
Came back.
I don't know.
Poor to speculate. We will not speculate.
We'll be back. Sam McKewon.
Don't throw a drink at him.
Herald will join the show coming up on 1620 The Zone.
Sam McKewon is the newsman. Sam McKewon, Omaha World Herald. On the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
And we're joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by our good friend Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, good afternoon. How are we doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. How was your Nebraska football-less weekend?
Well, I thought it was all right. Got a chance to watch, some non-Nebraska games, which was helpful. It's always good to get a little bit of context and, do a little bit of that, which I was able to do for a little while on Saturday, maybe not the whole day, but a decent chunk of the day. And yeah, it's just more data to collect. And then you kind of get a sense of what Nebraska can and can't do. But ready for another game against a team that, Nebraska should beat, but isn't bereft of talent. I mean, they have players, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that Nebraska would gladly welcome onto their roster. So, bye week was good. Watched a lot of games. I don't think Nebraska's out of any game that they have left.
Totally.
But they don't have a bunch of blowouts on the schedule either.
I was going to say, Sam,
a lot of toss-ups.
Yeah, having seen, all these teams now, and maybe even closer after the weekend in the middle range where Nebraska's, sort of fighting to get to the top of, Illinois and USC, I think it was a good example of that kind. Iowa and Indiana maybe is another good example of it. Like, would you say that Nebraska's that far off from any one other team that's in the middle, that's basically not Penn State, Ohio State, or Oregon at this point?
Oh, I think Indiana's ahead of Penn State at this point, based on what I've seen. So no, I don't think Nebraska's that far off from Penn State based on what I've seen. They played fine in their first three games against walkover teams, but no, I watched Saturday night's game with great interest, and I think Nebraska had their hands full with both teams, but I think Nebraska can play with Penn State. I thought Nebraska matched up well with Penn State before Saturday night, to be candid with you, and I still think they do. I think they're a team that certainly has a lot of good football players, and they play very hard. Penn State's effort is evident, but that's not a team that's gonna go over the top and strike you in one play the way Ohio State can. Ohio State still retains the ability to just take Jeremiah Smith and run him by everybody, and I don't see that from Penn State. I just don't, and I think those are the teams that Nebraska can get away from. Nebraska are the ones that can really pitch it and catch it. And can just throw the ball at a high level and then come back through with the run and really keep Nebraska's defense off balance. But I don't see that in Penn State. I think they got a ways to go. So no, I don't think there's a team on Nebraska's schedule that's left that's going to run away and hide from Nebraska. No, they might lose a game by a bunch, but it won't be because that team was head and shoulders better. It'll be because Nebraska didn't play well. So if Nebraska plays well, they're going to be in every game down the stretch, and they might even win a couple by double digits.
So okay, if you were to tier it out in the Big Ten, is it Ohio State, Oregon, and then there's like a tier break after that, and that's where Penn State, the Penn State tier comes up? I guess how would you look at the top 4 or 5 teams in the league right now?
Yeah, I think there's a tier. I think Ohio State and Oregon are top of the shelf, and then Indiana's going to go out to Oregon in 2 weeks, and we're going to find a lot out about Indiana and whether they can do that. So, but I put in Indiana's resume is better than Penn State at this point. If you beat Illinois by 53 and you go and win at Iowa, that's better than beating Nevada, Florida International, and Villanova. And I know Penn State's got some games to play, but I don't think we're going to learn a ton about Penn State going out to UCLA. So I think Indiana and Penn State are on that next tier. I'd put Michigan up there too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you put Michigan and Penn State on a field, I don't know how that turns out right now. I would have said Penn State, but I wouldn't say that right at the moment. I think Penn State's got work to do on their lines of scrimmage, kind of like Nebraska does. So I'd probably put Michigan in that tier, and then you got that next tier, and Nebraska's in that next tier. So Illinois, Nebraska, USC. Don't know enough about Maryland. We'll see.
Washington.
Washington, Iowa. That's probably the next tier. And then, if Minnesota goes to Columbus and they're competitive and it's, they lose, but it's 28-13, then that's probably a little bit, they probably belong in that third tier. If they go out there and get waxed and lose 56-7, which they could, then obviously they're a tier below. So I think that's kind of where it's at right now. I do think that the Big Ten's probably going to get 10 bowl teams, 11. So they got plenty of bowl teams in the league, but I don't know that there's going to be a lot of top end teams right now. I can make the argument for 3 playoff teams or 4. And in the SEC, you can make the argument for like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So and right now, Indiana would be that third playoff team. I'm not seeing it from Penn State. They still have to go to Ohio State. If they lose that game, they're right on they're teetering because they don't have a lot of good wins. If they lose to Ohio State and then they go and lose at Iowa, then they're out.
Definitely.
So Penn State's got to find a way to win a lot of games going forward.
Sam, you asked Matt Rule about this today. It's a topic on the top of everybody's mind, like the idea that there's all these points in the Big Ten. He said it's not the Big Ten West. It's built to score. It's built to sell trucks on commercials, which was sort of a fascinating kind of remark. But we were just talking about the rest of the league and what it looks like right now. I mean, did you get the sense from him that they are going to steer further into their offensive kind of approach as we go forward here?
I think when you need to get to it and you need to score, you need to have that. And there's going to be games that get a little more loose than others. And I think that's probably what he's talking about. There are going to be days when you face an Indiana like you did in 24, where you're going to go have to score some football points. You just have to. And you can't say, well, if all the stars had aligned today and we played like we did against Ohio State in 24, maybe we could have pulled it out. You just have to go into a season assuming there's going to be a couple of track meets. And Nebraska didn't have quite enough firepower. Well, they didn't have enough firepower at all to beat Indiana last year, but they fell short against USC too. And that was a game, being out there, seeing how Nebraska started, they just needed to play a little bit better offense. Honestly, that's a game they probably could have won, 35-28 if they had been on their, P's and Q's that day, so to speak. So I think they probably spent a lot of time in the offseason working on execution and working on, we can't just expect to win, score 21 and roll the ball out and win. There are going to be games where you have to do more than that. And there's probably 4 games on the schedule on the way out where, 17 is probably not going to cut it. So I think that's part of it. I think, obviously once you get in the league, there's going to be some lower scoring contests for sure. And so, Nebraska's going to have to win some of those too. They could definitely get in a rock fight with Iowa. That's what they've been doing. And they could absolutely get in one of those. They could play Northwestern and win convincingly, but the score is 20-9.
Yeah.
There's just games like that. Northwestern's going to play a certain way. So you kind of got to win both ways. But the way that's really where Nebraska has found the high scoring game pretty elusive in recent years. They haven't been able to keep pace with some of the teams, the best teams in the league as a scoring front. So I think that's part of what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, hey, when we got to go score 35, we got the quarterback who can do it, which they do.
Right. The way I see it, Sam, there's usually a team in all these games that you could tell just by the way they're set up or the way they want to play. They're the team in the game that wants to minimize the possessions. And then there's another team. The other team wants to obviously, do the opposite. It doesn't exactly work out that way 100% of the time, but Nebraska has been the team that wants to kind of minimize over the last couple of years. And now it feels like maybe they're the opposite. Maybe teams are going to want to slow them down going into this next portion of the season.
Well, I think that certainly teams would like to. Yeah, absolutely. And there'll be some defenses that are up to the task of slowing Nebraska down. But yeah, no question. This is a team that's wanted to save the tread on the tire of the defense. Right, we've seen a lot of that, Connor. And they're still doing that. I mean, the defense is only facing 56 plays a game, which is not a lot. A lot in today's day and age with the clock running after first downs is about 65 to 66. But those 10 extra plays, they'll wear on you. And Nebraska's defense is really not facing that many plays. They're just not. If they ever get to a situation where they are, I think they're going to wear down because they're not a large defense. They're not a bunch of giants up there that can just sort of hold up. I think over time, Nebraska is a team that's going to want to quicken the pace at times. I do think sometimes they got to do that to score. Hopefully this weekend they're able to just operate normally and move the ball on a Michigan State team that really struggles to rush the passer and really struggles to cover. Those are two things that Michigan State doesn't do very well. And those are things that, if we're talking 2 years ago when Nebraska's got Heinrich Harburg playing, it probably doesn't hurt Michigan State that much. Against Dylan Raiola, it should hurt Michigan State that they struggle to get after the quarterback and they struggle to cover. Dylan should have a big day.
Yeah. I'm looking at the total. It's 52.5. It feels like the type of game where there might be some points. I don't know. It feels like that kind of game to me that we're lining up for on Saturday.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too, for sure. I mean, I think that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, this is going to be the next several weeks are going to be really interesting barometers. The next 3. I don't know what to think of Northwestern at this point. They look pretty rough to me, but the next 3 games are all kind of different in their own ways. You got Michigan State coming in. They have a cool offense. They can move it. They'll test Nebraska's defense in some ways. And next week, I think you're going out to play a very defensive-minded Maryland team that has some athletes on that side of the ball and is really relearning the offense because they're starting a true freshman and they're looking to win 20-17. Then you get Minnesota, and Minnesota's banged up. And the other thing that I've always noticed with Minnesota is their defense is kind of rough for the first month. They really do struggle defensively initially because they're not as fast. They don't necessarily get after guys in the same way. But as the season goes on, their depth kind of kicks in and they get a little tougher. And right on time Nebraska visits Minneapolis is when they get good.
Yeah.
And that's happened multiple times. Happened in 19, happened in 21. Obviously in 23, they went out there at the beginning of the season, should have won that game, weren't able to steal it. But right around the time that PJ Fleck figures it out on offense and defense is when Nebraska rolls into town. So my sense is no matter what happens this weekend with Ohio State, and they could get run off the field, it won't make much difference in 2 weeks. The team that Nebraska will face in 2 weeks will be the same kind of team they've been playing for years, and Nebraska's going to have to fight tooth and nail to win in Minneapolis. If Nebraska wins all 3 of these games, A, they qualify for a bowl, and they're 6-1, and B, they're kind of back in this thing.
Yeah.
They got to win them all. The Northwestern game, it isn't quite a bye week, but it's something. And then they play USC. Now, if they win all these next 3 and then they beat Northwestern, they're 7-1 playing USC, and the circus is back in town, and all the goals are still back on the table. By then, USC might well be 5-3 or 4-4 with the schedules that they have. I wouldn't like it if Nebraska had to go play Michigan and Notre Dame. That wouldn't. Well, they already played Michigan and lost. I wouldn't like having to go to Notre Dame and play out there. And USC's got to do that, I think, before they play Nebraska. So,
correct.
Anything's possible. But you got to win these next 3, and they're all a little bit different, and they're all against teams that probably aren't as good as Nebraska, but can beat Nebraska on any given Saturday.
Yep, no doubt. Sam, great stuff. As always, we'll let you go. Enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right, take care.
Sam McKewon, great stuff as always from the Omaha World Herald. So did you know USC, this is the first time I've looked at this, USC, they have a bye this week, and then they play Michigan, and then they play Notre Dame, and then they have another bye. So while Nebraska plays 4 games in the next 4 weeks, leading into the USC game on Saturday, November 1st in Lincoln, USC plays 2.
Whoa.
That's half the games,
That
Josh.
is.
And then
It's twice the rest or something like that.
yeah, and I don't know what the I don't know what the thought process is there because
Gosh,
maybe
USC
it's like
could lose both those
you
games.
go on the road to Notre Dame, it's halfway across the country, bye week, and then you go halfway across the country again, right? And then the West Coast part of their schedule kicks in, like they have only home games or West Coast trips from then on out.
This is a unique schedule.
It is.
Wow.
It's just 3 trips to middle of 4 trips to Middle America, and then that's it.
I guess you'd probably that's probably as good as it's going to get for them.
With the
right?
appropriate amount of rest. Too. Like, what is Lincoln Riley complaining about?
Yeah.
So they went to Purdue, and then they played at Michigan. They played at home the next week. Then they went to Illinois this past weekend. Then they have a bye. Then they're at home. Then they go to Notre Dame, and then they have a bye. And then they go to Nebraska, and then they come back for 2 consecutive weeks before they have to go to Oregon. But that's just Oregon. Obviously a tough game, but not that challenging of a travel scenario. So yeah, that's what USC has lined up. I didn't know that they only had 2 games before they play Nebraska coming up. It'll be November before you know it, Josh. All of a sudden, it'll be basketball season. It's
You're
amazing.
always trying to make it basketball season.
I was telling you, Josh, today that we know everybody's schedule now, and for the know some certain times. So there's always one day at the beginning of November that I'm gone doing women's basketball when they have their kids' day, the first day of the season. We know what that day is. It is the Monday after the USC game. It'll be here before you know it.
How am I going to get your black jersey takes? Are we going to wait till Tuesday to do those? No,
Josh, you ever heard of a podcast? My takes are available on the podcast.
Interesting.
We'll be back after this. Still a couple more things that I want to get into from the weekend. Of course, we want to hear from you all as well. 402-951-1620. Actually, before we go, a reminder about the Zone Deal this week. Scary Acres combo passes, 2 for $1, where you can get into all the attractions. John and Josh will have your chance to win the combo passes for free this week. Also, the Zone Deal goes on sale Friday at 9. 1620thezone.com. to say goodbye to I wouldn't say a college football legend, but a man this weekend.
A man.
Sam Pittman. Finally happened.
Yes.
He finally got fired at Arkansas, and he's most famous for being a really good offensive line coach and not a very good head coach. But at the same time, like, Arkansas is a tough job. I don't know.
Definitely.
It's got to be difficult to win games there.
John Gruden's going to try, but
do you think that's where they go?
I feel like he could probably do better than that. I don't know what's going to be open, but I feel like John Gruden could probably do better than Arkansas.
They've kind of just done they've just tried a variety of different things now. So it does have the smell of one of those things where they're like, screw this. We're going to go for it. We're going to put in all this, money and all these different things. Like, so Pittman went, he had the 9-win season. He got bowl eligible again in 22, won the Liberty Bowl. After they won the last game of the regular season, he says, I'm going to have myself old cold beer.
He's 3-0 in bowl games at Arkansas.
Yeah, nice job. 2-time winner of the Lib Bowl. The Chad Morris thing was so bad. So I think people are grateful for Sam Pittman for coming in and stabilizing after the Chad Morris thing went so horribly. And then Bielema was there for a couple of years, and he had a tough time kind of getting it off.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody will ever be able to replicate the success of Houston Nutt. One-time potential Nebraska hiree, right. Houston Nutt. But so they hired Sam Pittman kind of on a whim, and they were like, oh, he was a really, truly great offensive line coach. So why don't we just do this from a winning program in Georgia? It didn't work. I don't know if anybody will work at Arkansas.
So he had this really weird buyout. Did you read the details of this buyout?
No. Is it talk about Colbert?
It does not talk about Colbert.
I like that about Colbert.
He will be owed $9.3 million according to contract documents.
Congratulations.
There was a clause that if he had a record below 500 since 2021, he would be owed $5.7 million. So, like, if he had a losing record post 2021, the buyout was smaller.
Okay.
And he has a record of 29-27 since 2021. So it's a little Scott Frostian in you probably could have just waited and saved yourself, I don't know, what is that, $3.5 million? What is that in the grand scheme of things? But
exactly. So
if you know, and some other teams in your conference and geographic area have already fired their coach. So you gotta let people know.
It's gonna be bad for them though. And you have a bye week this week. Everyone knows you have to fire the coach going into the bye week.
It's a great spot to do it.
So their finish to their season goes as such. By the way, they were kind of controlling Ole Miss for a while.
Yeah.
They should have probably won that game. They lost to Memphis. They had the road game at Memphis. Don't play road games at group of 5 teams. Please, God. We've learned this lesson many, many, many times. And I know their fan base is big there, but my God. They go to Tennessee. They have Texas A&M. They have Auburn. They have Mississippi State. At LSU, at Texas, and home against Missouri to finish off the regular season.
Boy, we talk about Florida's death march
teams
for the rest of the year. And
there's 5 ranked teams right now. It might be more than that.
This is... Boy, the SEC is kind of tough.
Jake writes in, Flaky Jake.
Hi, Flaky Jake.
On Twitter, on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed, Arkansas needs Dana Altman to call the Hogs. Woo! Hey, by the way, speaking of former coaches, I wanted to say this. Shout out to everyone this weekend. Yes, even you. Shout out to everyone. Because you know what everyone didn't do this weekend? Drive to Manhattan, Kansas, to see what was going on with Scott Frost. Good job.
It was right there.
Do you remember? I mean,
oh yeah.
Before the year, it was like, oh my gosh, Nebraska. How many What's the
Over-under-
over-under on Nebraska media members that are going to go down to Kansas for this game because it's Nebraska's bye week? And nobody went. At least not to my knowledge.
Kenneth writes in the YouTube chat that our friend Karen did.
That's true. Karen is a real journalist.
So
maybe not shout out to everyone. Maybe Karen knows some people down there. Karen went in the stands with her old book club. Something like that.
Karen has a book club?
I mean,
like a knitting group or something?
Yeah, probably something like
Okay,
that. It's not
sure.
to stereotype too much, but you get it.
Backgammon group.
But as far as I'm concerned, none of the media went to just check in on Scott Frost.
Good job resisting that urge.
Excellent job by you all this weekend. And like I said, it's been a tough year for UCF, and they had a very tough week last week, losing their offensive line coach. And then it's not going to be a good rest of the year for UCF. I don't know. Maybe Scott Frost can get them going, but people had to do the thing about how they lost a game for the first time at UCF since the end of the 2017 season or
4 million game win
or
streak
for the first time since the end of the 2016 season, I guess, because he went undefeated through 2017. People forget that, Josh.
UCF plays Oklahoma State towards the end of the year, so
they'll win a game there. They'll win a game.
It's
there.
at the bounce house.
J-Man writes in.
Hi, J-Man.
Woo pig suey. Some things can never be unheard, Dana. Pig emoji. I don't know what Arkansas will do with their head football job, but it's not an enviable situation, that's for sure.
It's the SEC, man. You got to go for it.
Maybe
or you're going to be left behind.
Maybe it's got a John Gruden smell to it. Also, shout out to another coach over the weekend. Mr. I've changed the narrative on myself very, very quickly. Shout out to Kalen DeBoer, another Midwest guy, the pride of Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
People forget.
Congratulations to Kalen DeBoer going out on the road and getting that win over Georgia. We talked about it on Friday a little bit. I thought that it was the kind of game that they could win. Basically controlled Georgia all the way through. Now, as Sam McKewon mentioned a couple minutes ago, like there's some teams in the SEC that you could, like, if you stacked it up 1-on-1 against the Big Ten right now, you'd say, ooh, the SEC is a much, much better conference. But with that being said, who in the SEC is like national champion good? There is no. I mean, we're into conference play for some conferences, multiple weeks into conference play. Do you see a national championship favorite? Do you see a team that is so much better than everybody else? Or do you even see a team at this moment who you would call our national champion favorite, like by default? Would you just say it's Ohio State because they won it last year and they have the quality win over Texas? I didn't see anything from Ohio State in that game that made me think, oh boy, this is like, I see a very Ohio State team. Good, probably going to be in the mix. Are they going to have enough at the end of the year? You look at the SEC, the representative might be Texas at this moment. Oklahoma is going to spend a couple weeks without John Mateer. Alabama works their way back into the conversation. Do you have to put Ole Miss in that conversation as of right now? What do you do with LSU? What do you do with Tennessee? What do you do with Texas A&M? Like, I don't know. Maybe one will identify it themselves, but as of right now, I see a lot of teams that are perfectly fine being ranked from about 4 to 17. Do you see a national championship winner out of that group? Who would you put your money on right now?
Whoa.
Would you do Oregon? I can tell you what the odds are.
Okay, let me give me like 10 seconds to think about this.
Huh. I see a lot of holes out there.
Yeah, probably Oregon number 1. Gosh.
Ohio State plus 500 is the top odds.
Top odds.
Oregon
Okay.
plus 550. Texas plus 700. Bama plus 800. Penn State plus 850. Georgia plus 1,000. Miami plus 1,400. And then you get all the mix mash of SEC teams, right? I don't know, man.
Ole Miss is starting to feel a little realer than in years past. And I don't know if that's because of something they're doing or because of something the Georgia, LSU, Alabamas of the world are not doing.
I just think you're asking like the Ohio States, you just said it. The Ohio States, the Texases, the Georgias, the Alabamas, like maybe you'd put Oregon into this category, but probably not. Those type of schools, they just have questions, and most of their questions are at quarterback. Who's got the best quarterback out of that group? If I gave you Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas, who's got the best quarterback out of that group right now? It might be Ohio State, but it might just be by default.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
At this point. I think he's pretty good. Like, I think Sane is pretty good, but he's playing for the first time. He's starting for the first time. It's not all there quite yet. Usually those teams have quarterbacks that are like, oh, they're in the Heisman race. We know that they're going to be there all the way until the end. Did you see who made a jump in the Heisman odds over the weekend? It was none other than Alabama's Ty Simpson. So people are looking at the moment. Dante Moore leads the way right now at plus 650. So just something to keep an eye on. All right, let's take a break. We'll get to our poll questions. We'll tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone.
After further review, the host is deemed to be out of bounds.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SELECT to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SELECT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SELECT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620, The Zone.
To the polls at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Don't forget, tomorrow we will have our top 5 poll questions from the month of September. And as far as I know, Josh Odson will be here for the first, which means he will actually do the list as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah. You don't have to do it. It's on my to-do list. Don't worry.
Excellent. Here are the polls today. Did John Bishop just like the way it pooped?
Absolutely.
That was on that cow that was inside the car that one time.
He did.
88% say yes.
They know John.
And the other poll question is, does the Big Ten sell trucks? Apparently, yes.
Oh, yeah.
72%.
Do you think they have to sell the most trucks, or do you think the SEC has that claim to fame?
I think the SEC has more trucks than the Big Ten per capita.
Sure.
For sure. Yes. All right. Josh, those are the polls. What are we watching tonight?
We are watching
Game 163.
No.
Oh, wait.
No.
Thanks, Manfred.
They don't let us do that anymore. There is two NFL games on. They're both big. They're both beautiful, and we love them. They'll be on 2 different networks. Jets, Dolphins. Somebody probably going to get their first win. 6:15 on ESPN.
A good time.
You can hear that game on 1180 The Zone. Okay, got that?
I do.
Bengals, Broncos an hour later at 7:15 on ABC and 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone.
That's right. NHL preseason is on NHL Network where it belongs. 6 o'clock. Rangers, Islanders battle for New York.
No kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
No way. Way to go.
The season 10 premiere of Below Deck Mediterranean premieres on Bravo at 7 o'clock tonight.
Oh, Below Deck Med.
Yeah. When crew members are sidelined due to illness, the crew struggles to get the boat ready for charter. Aisha worries one of her green stews is giving her deja vu, whatever that means.
I'd wonder about that too.
A few movies on tonight. Gladiator is on at 7 o'clock on Paramount. The Lion King is on Freeform at 8.
What a movie, Josh.
And Black Panther is on Sci-Fi at 6.
Excellent.
That's what to watch.
Thank you, Josh. If only we had game 163 somewhere in America today.
Or if only we had a decisive game 5 in the WNBA playoffs.
Well, we don't have either of those
because
our filthy commissioners took them away from us in both cases. Tomorrow we have a full slate of playoff baseball.
We do.
Tomorrow we'll get to watch Tarek Skubal pitch a playoff game during this show.
As God intended.
That's it for us today. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is next.